It's that time again.
So remember the Alamo?
To do another one of our cute little skits?
No, it's time to do our annual trio of end of the year streams. Starting off.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Hallelujah.
All right, well, hello everybody, welcome to our new Gold Kids live stream. So, 2025.
New intro.
You knew your new intro. 2025. Oh, what a year it's been. So, what a year it's been. We've actually had a lot of great movies, haven't we, guys?
Totally. We're going to talk about that today, right?
Unfortunately, we're not here to. No. Unfortunately, we have to take out the trash before we can start rewarding ourselves. So we might as well go ahead and get this pile of shit over with. So we are here to talk about some of the worst pieces of garbage that we have seen in 2025. So if you've seen these streams before, you know exactly how everything goes. Also, I'm going to tell you right now that my Wi-Fi has been acting a little weird lately. So if my connection starts to fuck up, I at least have John logged into the account just in case. So he'll be my co-host. He's got my back. So in case
I scratch your balls, you scratch mine.
Yep, there we go. So in case my Wi-Fi fucks up, he'll be the one taking control until I can get it back. So anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the worst films that we have seen. We are starting off with our 10 through 6. For my number 10, I have Karate Kid Legends, a very disappointing film from this franchise. I'm aware that some people like this movie, and I'm happy for them, but this movie did not do anything for me. It felt like just a rehash of the same shit we've seen before. The editing was very seizure-inducing and very obnoxious. And if you were expecting a Karate Kid movie where Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio play the mentors, then you'll be sorely disappointed because Ralph Macchio is hardly even in this movie. But this, like I said, I'm happy people like it, but this movie did nothing for me. My number 9 is, there we go, Death of Unicorn. So if you've seen our review of this, then you know how much a lot of us really some of us weren't really big on this movie. This movie it honestly is a movie that feels like a PG-13 movie disguised like pretty much wrapped around in an R-rated filter. The editing was choppy. The CGI was terrible. I hated Paul Rudd's character because he was stupid and very unlikable. I wanted to punch him every time he was on screen. And like I said, I don't know what kind of movie this was even meant to be. This was just a disaster from beginning to end. So that's my, wait, what the, oh, I didn't see back. Okay, there we go. Let me switch it up a bit. All right. So so anyway, moving on to my number 8, I have the one that I did not expect to pretty much crash land into my year, but I guess Santa gave me a big old turd stocking in my Christmas stocking this year. Oh, what fun. This is a movie that's on Prime Video. This is supposed to be the new feel-good Christmas movie from 2025, and it was just so bad. This was so bad. I ended up watching this with my mom and with my brother, and none of us really liked it all that much. It was so unfunny. I hated a lot of the characters in this. Not one person was very likable. The story was so predictable that you can tell exactly where it was going. This feels like a Hallmark movie. It feels like a Hallmark movie with some of the shit with a shitty family. If you thought the family in Krampus was bad, you haven't seen shit till you've seen these assholes. But yeah, fuck oh what fun it is. Don't let the title fool you. It's anything but fun. Number 7 is a Minecraft movie. Now, I won't say that this was the worst video game movie I've seen this year, and trust me, we'll get to that when we get to my number 4. But this movie was just so terrible the moment I saw it. You know, the CGI was atrocious. The acting was really bad. The story, it seems like it wants to be the Lego movie and fails miserably. The only thing that, and I really don't get I don't get what all these stupid memes are coming from with this movie. And there were stupid subplots. I hated what they did with that one subplot with the villager and the chick. So it just came out of nowhere. But fuck this movie. So I get that this has its fans but I'm not one of them. So, and I'll move on to my number 6 is him. Anyway, I had to make that. Oh my God, what did they do with Marlon Wayans? So, talk about a fall from grace. He was in funny movies or he was in funny shows like In Living Color and all. I remember as far back as that, but talk about a fall from like I appreciate he tries to do something different, but the story is such a mess. I couldn't even understand what was going on half the time. The editing was obnoxious. Just nothing really worked. The characters are so flat in this movie. I could not get into this movie. So I'm filibustering, I know. So I'll let somebody else take over. John?
All right. It's me time. So I don't have a 10 through 8 because I didn't see as many bad movies this year. So just keep that in mind. So I'm starting off. So I'm only doing my number 6 and number 7. So my number 7 is actually Becoming Led Zeppelin. You know, it says a lot when the subject of the film is one of the greatest rock bands in the history of music to be on a worst of list. But here we are. Not a big documentary guy, but I will always give credit where it is due, and I can recognize greatness in such a form. This is not one of those cases. The lamest ego-stroking documentary I've ever seen that doesn't show us anything new to fans of the band would know already, and it's too boring and bland for any casuals who would watch it. Not horrible, but a band like Led Zeppelin deserves a hell of a lot fucking better than an elongated episode of Behind the Music, and even that's being too kind. Then my number 6 is more of a disappointment than anything with The Amateur. It pains me to put this on the list, but I was frankly so unimpressed and bored with this movie that I felt like I had to. Despite a unique premise of a guy who is a fucking nerd who realizes he isn't John Wick trying to get revenge on the people who killed his wife, it basically does nothing with it. Bland action set pieces and an even worse story. Even if I didn't know this was done by a TV director, I could have definitely told you after watching it. Despite a damn great cast, they don't do anything of note, and I was on the cusp of falling asleep at several points. It feels like the most mid-action movie of 2006, and that is not a compliment. Thank God for Nuremberg to actually show off Rami Malek's talents this year.
All right, so for my 10 through 6, it's funny. Some of our picks, Rob, are very similar. So my number 10 is also Karate Kid Legends. Wow, what a disappointment. Cobra Kai ended on such a great note, and I was excited about the idea of Daniel and Mr. Han training a new Karate Kid, and I was disappointed. This was such a rushed, messy, unfocused, horribly edited cash grab. Is it worse? Is it the worst in the franchise? No, but it's the most forgettable. Number 9 is also Death of a Unicorn. Twinsies. Yeah, I love Paul Rudd. I love Jenna Ortega, but unfortunately, they couldn't make magic with this one. I was hoping for a fun time, but nope. The characters are all annoying and unlikable. The CGI is awful. The story is cliched as fuck. And this felt like it was supposed to be PG-13 because all the carnage is choppily edited and shot in the dark. What a letdown. My number 8. You got to change the banner. Number 8.
Well,
Wolfman. Yeah, Wolfman. What the hell, A1L? You followed up your solid remake of The Invisible Man with this crap. It's not scary, it's boring, our characters are bland. And instead of getting a neat modern update, I got a fly knockoff without the heart and the excellent chemistry between the leads. And instead of getting a Wolfman, I got a fucking Wendigo. And if we're not scared of the monster in your horror movie has failed. We really need Robert Eggers to show us how it's done with Werewolf this year. Number 7 is him. No, I'm not talking about the Powerpuff Girls villain. I'm not talking about the awesome goth metal band from Finland. I'm talking about this pretentious and stupid football horror movie. Marlon Wayans' performance aside, this was an absolute waste of time. Pretentious, boring, horribly edited, not scary, stupid. If I were Jordan Peele, I would be embarrassed to have my name on this as a producer. This is not a touchdown. This is a foul ball. And my number 6 is The Surfer. I know there are some critics out there that like this movie, and honest to God, I don't get it. This is 2025's Beau is Afraid. A stupid, boring, annoying, mean-spirited pile of shit that's spent on watching Nicolas Cage get abused and humiliated by everyone around him, and in the end, they get away with their cruelty. Cage, I love you, but you gotta pick better scripts. You went from Long Legs to this. If I were a lifeguard, I wouldn't save this. I would let it drown in the water. That's my 10 through 6.
all right, Rob.
So, my number 10 movie is Playdate, starring Alan Richardson and Kevin James. The trailer looked really appealing, but overall, it's a movie where you really have to turn off your brain and just whatever happens in this movie. I watched the whole thing and I was just like, what did I watch? It was not a good script, not a good movie from beginning to end. It was clearly a money grab for both actors. And my number 9 is The Calendar Killer. This was a movie that was very over smart. It was an Amazon Prime movie that was number 1, I think, back in January, February. It had something to do with domestic abuse, but it was more of it came off like a slasher, then domestic abuse. There was so many different things going on. You really had to like keep up with it. And it just didn't really work that well, at least in my opinion. I don't really know any of the actors or actresses in this movie. This was just one of those movies where you thought you might have found a gem of a movie that no one's ever heard about coming into 2025. And my number 8 is The Old Guard 2, which, in my opinion, should never have had a sequel. Uma Thurman looked really bored in that movie. Overall, that movie just shouldn't have existed. To be honest with you, that's all I got to say about that movie. And my number 7, we're doing was it 10 through 8 or 10 through 6?
10 through 6.
Oh, 10 through 6. Okay. My number 7 is Clown in the Cornfield. The title was very appealing. The trailer was appealing. It just didn't work for me. I didn't know if it was trying to be serious or just fun. Again, to me, it's just the title tells it itself. Clown in the Cornfield didn't work at all for me. And my number 6 is Death of a Unicorn. Again, I'm sorry, guys, for having us review that movie last year. Oh my God, I can't believe I saw that in theaters and paid money for it.
I mean, we all agreed to see it, so
yeah,
you can't really blame yourself.
Yeah, but that was another movie that just didn't work at all. I mean, Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, those were the appealing cast, but overall that movie just didn't work at all. Bad script, bad acting, just nothing worked for it. And that's my 10 through 6.
Okay. Awesome. Austinator?
All right, just to give a quick disclaimer, if you're expecting Minecraft or War of the Worlds on my list, well, then be prepared to be disappointed and please politely shut the fuck up. All right, now to begin the list, my number 10, Flight Risk. Topher Grace, aka alternate Eric Foreman, saves a pretty generic, bland thriller film with balding Mark Wahlberg with a southern accent. Next, number 9, Happy Gilmore 2. It's just a really bad Happy Madison comedy in 2026 or 2025. I guess I got 2026 on the mind, but 2025. It's just Adam Sandler wanting to hang out with his friends and play golf. Number 8, Honey Don't. Even a naked Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley sex scene could not save this shitty film. Next, number 7, Love Hurts. I was expecting a fun action film. I kind of got that, but it was kind of shittily made. And honestly, I love Hoi Kwan, but it just didn't work for me. And number 6, Until Dawn. What was I to expect? A shitty PG-13 horror movie from Sony Studios trying to adapt a video game. It seems they did not learn their lesson from Borderlands, but hey, it's my fault for seeing it.
All right, Mark.
And then there was 1. Well, or you know, 2 if watch go. All right, my number 10 is The Looking Man. I'm really getting tired of these vehicles for him. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking tired of it. You still got Austin's number 6 on there, but yeah, that's all right. But yeah, my number 10 is The Working Man. I'm getting really tired of these vehicles for him. I mean, he's got to stop. I mean, come on, it's getting so tiresome. I mean, geez, I mean, Jack said it best. You know, I mean, you know, good acting is no match for the power of his complete lack of ability to emote. Yeah, and his bald head. But number 9 is, and I know I'm not on an island on this. I don't care. And my number 9 is Life of Chuck. I did not like this. Maybe just because you know, we'd have been a long day at that point. The kids were tired. They didn't care for it either. It was just kind of boring and weird to me for the sake of being weird. So, I mean, I just didn't care for it. I kind of got what it was trying to say. I just felt like it still fell flat anyway. Exactly. Who is Chuck and why do I hate his life? Serious. I got so tired of it. My number 8, Captain America, Brave New World. Oh boy, this wasn't even a Captain America movie. This was Captain America shoehorned into a Hulk movie, you know, without the Hulk. Jesus, I mean, the guy deserved his own movie, you know. I mean, rather than just being a cipher for Hulk villains, you know. So I mean, and Jesus, you had oh God, what's his name, as guy from Breaking Bad as the villain, Giancarlo Esposito, who was really, really good, but I mean, he was just hardly in the thing, you know. He's there, he's gone, you know. So, but if he had been the main villain, you could have had a good movie, but as it was. Number 7, this is my other hot take, Superman. Sorry, just didn't vibe with me. I am not a James Gunn fan. If you liked it, I'm happy for you. I'm not a James Gunn fan and never will be. I just do not like his style. I just can't stand it. And this was just pure James Gunn. Number 6 is Heads of State. Heads of State was absolutely fucking awesome. For one thing, the British Prime Minister is not a fucking head of state. It's not a head of state. It doesn't even fit. He's not a head of state. The monarch is the head of state in the British system. The prime minister is not a head of state. He's just the head of the government. He's not the head of state. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, God. And it was horrible anyway. I mean, even Idris Elba couldn't save it. Even Idris Elba couldn't save this shit. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, I mean, Netflix gets a lot of flack for their awful originals, but Netflix, but Amazon Prime originals are no better, man. I'm telling you, they're absolutely fucking awesome.
Okay.
In fact, I'd argue some of them are actually a great deal worse. But anyway, that's my 10 through 6.
All right. By the way, nobody saw anything. Nobody saw anything.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Good. Good.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
This has been Top Bucks with Mr. Thompson.
All right. Well, just Jay, floor is yours. Your 8 through 6.
My 8th. All right. So I joined late, and so just a brief backstory. I did not really watch a lot of this year because I actually care about my sanity and I don't want to purposely watch something that'll make me go crazy. But unfortunately, there were things that I did watch that I will say were bad, and even though I had hopes, I did not like certain things. So, and also my list consists of both movies and shows because again, I'm not spending money to watch a shitty movie. I could easily just watch it on the internet. So number 8, I have Daredevil Born Again. I was very excited for Daredevil to come back to the MCU, and I was really, really, really hoping that it was going to live up to the Netflix adaptation. And then when we hear that not only did they not have the original characters from the Netflix show like Foggy or Karen or the original actress who plays Vanessa, but they had a completely different story. And then they rewrote everything because they had a new showrunner, and it became a Frankenstein's monster. And even though I tried my best to like as much as I could of the show, it really just did not work for me. And it's just I can only hope that season 2 does a better job because there is so many inconsistencies with Daredevil Born Again, but it's not something that really made me super duper angry, which is why it's like at the bottom of the list. At number 7, I have another MCU show, Ironheart. This was a show that I really knew going in. I knew it was going to probably be bad, but I still wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt because I'm a Marvel shill, unfortunately. And yeah, Ironheart is not a good show, and the protagonist is not a great person, and it's unfortunate that she gets no consequences after all the people she screwed over in that show. It's kind of hard for me to root for someone who's pretty much an asshole to everyone, and it's very clear that this show is embarrassed about trying to live up to trying to be a successor to Tony Stark and Iron Man, especially with the marketing of, oh, would Tony Stark be Tony Stark if he didn't have money and whatnot? And it's like, yeah, he would actually, because he made a lot of things with no money. He made a suit in a cave with a box of scraps. But yeah, it really wasn't good. Ironheart is just unfortunately another like list in a long. It's another product in a long line of MCU stuff that's coming out recently that just really hasn't done good at all. And yeah, but at number 6, and honestly, I'm surprised that this isn't higher on my list, but we'll get to why this is at number 6. It's The Last of Us Season 2. And by the way, how do you make The Last of Us 2, the video game, better than do you understand how bad Season 2 of The Last of Us is to the point where I actually like the adaptation, the sequel to the video game? I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. The fact that I actually now have like somewhat of a soft spot now for The Last of Us 2, that just shows you how bad Season 2 of The Last of Us is. And I know. And I know. Everyone in this room knows how much I hate The Last of Us 2. Like, I have done nothing but crap on it for years. But watching Season 2 of The Last of Us, I'm watching and I'm like, you know what? Maybe The Last of Us 2 isn't that bad. I still hate the ending. But maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Perhaps I treated it too harshly. To really understand why The Last of Us Season 2 sucks, it's really because the show it doesn't care about trying to actually be about something. Because, and listen, Bella Ramsey is a great actress. I have nothing against Bella Ramsey as an actress, and I have nothing against Bella Ramsey as a person. All the hate that they have gotten over the years, not necessary. But I will say one of the biggest criticisms about Bella Ramsey is the fact that I just don't think that they are capable of conveying what Ellie was post Joel's death in the video game in live action. I can't take it seriously, because instead of actually making Ellie an unlikable character, making her driven by vengeance and rage, they just make Ellie just kind of like teetering on the line of being, nice and not nice. Like, there's moments where she's not a good person, but we don't really feel that she's going down that dark path that Joel was on in the first game, basically. And I know the memeable scene, I'm gonna be a dad. Yeah, the scene is funny and it's stupid, but it's just like there's just so much about the season 2 that doesn't work for me. And it also doesn't help that Pedro Pascal leaving really tanked the show with its viewership, because he pretty much is the reason why everyone decided to watch the show in the first place. I mean, he wasn't my first pick as Joel, it was Hugh Jackman, but still, Pedro Pascal can act his ass off. And it's just there really isn't anything else left to say. Season 2 of The Last of Us is just really not good. It's not good, and it just goes to further show why live action adaptations of video games doesn't work for me, unless it really is to the point where they're just self-aware of the fact that it's a video game and they're doing some silly shit. That's all I got left to say.
All right then. Okay, so now it's time for our friend Zach. Zach, he's not here, but he does have his list. Unfortunately, he, just like with John, he only sent me 7. So I'm only going to read, and he actually sent me like a paragraph of each one. So don't worry, you won't have like a 12-minute review of his number 1 or anything. So they're practically short. So, but I'll go ahead and read what he has. So for Zach's number 7, he has Pixar's Elio. Now let me see what he put down. Yada 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 yada. Okay. Wait, what the? Zach, you do know you switched your 6 and 7, right? All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna read what he said about Elio. So I thought this film was initially cute and inoffensive at best, which, to at its credit, I still think it is. But put it on this list for me is how forgettable its ending being, which for Pixar to be forgettable is a damn crime. And then he has number 6, but which I guess is number 7. I don't know. He has Fixed. He says, I was really rooting for this movie to get released after nearly getting shelved, and I was intrigued to see Andy Kurakowski do something against this usual style, but unfortunately ended up a toe confused mess. Sometimes comedies of this type can balance dirty and humor with some heartfelt sentimentality, but the script, bland characters, and predictable story did no favors. So that's what he has. And now we also have Movie and Cartoon Fan in the chat. So let's see if I could pull up his. So so for Movie and Cartoon Fan, for his number 10, he has Hurry Up Tomorrow, aka Weekends Wankfest, where Abel can't act and Jen Ortega commits kidnapping, attempted murder, and arson. Abel just stick to your great music. So at number 9 is a movie I've never even heard of, G20, one of the biggest examples of Amazon Prime slop with awful action, editing, a middle-aged woman taking down men stronger than her, and the main villain having a fetish for crypto who uses AI. Amazon Prime slop with atrocious. Well, I mean, he's pretty much saying the same thing. So that's pretty much what he. Okay, number 8, he has Honey Don't. Ethan's career as a solo director has been a bust. It plays sexual harassment as a joke while the victim loses his Ibuel, he ends up getting killed. I have vagina and I vote. All right. And his number 7 is In the Lost Lands, Paul W. Sanderson. Please stop making movies, especially just to shove your wife into everything. That's very true. And his number 6, he has Hell of a Summer. The appropriate title should be Scam of a Slasher, because I got scammed out of a movie where 9% of the deaths are fucking cutaways, despite being rated R. All righty. And that's what Moving Cartoon Fan has. And then I guess we're ready to, does anyone else, did anyone else pretty much put their, let's see here. Yep. What's up, Zach? How you guys doing? And look who else is here. Joey, what's up, man? All right.
Looks good, Joey.
All right. Okay. All right then. So let's go ahead and get started with our number 5s. Let me scroll back up to my list. Oh, I'm an idiot. I need to, hold on. Let me change the, hang on, hide current comment. Yes. There we go. Much better. Okay. All right. So my number 5 is going to be my biggest disappointment. And this really hurts me to put it on my worst of the year list, let alone this high, because I am such a fan of these guys as directors. Even though this is directed by only one of them, my number 5 is Honey Don't. Look, I understand not a lot of people like drive-away dolls. I get it. I'm not one of those people. I still enjoy it myself, but I can understand why some people can. When I have to tell you that a fan of the Coen brothers, even though this was only directed by one of them, had to put his next movie on this high, you know you had done fucked up. You know you fucked up when you pretty much made me put this movie at the top 5. The characters are just dull and flat as bread. I don't give a shit about anything about it. The editing is just so obnoxious. The acting is fine, but even then, this movie doesn't appreciate any of these actors' talents. And the worst thing about it is the fact that this movie has little to no story. This is pretty much Shit Happens, the movie. This Shit Happens, the movie, because this is where the plot constantly changes. The plot changes, or it just jumps around randomly more than a kangaroo on crack. I honestly could not understand what the fuck was even going on in this movie. Also, this movie is not really funny. You have Chris Evans playing a womanizing priest, and it's not even funny. It's just being stupid for the sake of it. I don't know what to, honestly, I cannot express how disappointed I am because of for Ethan Coen. Like I said, I will still defend their other movies. Big Lebowski is one of my favorite movies, period. But Ethan, if you can, please salvage your relationship with your brother, and you two going back to making movies. Please do so. We want to see more of Fargo, Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, Oh Brother, Wart Thou. We want to see more of those and less of this shit. So that's pretty much what my number 5 is. My number 5 is Honey Don't.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel, Rob. No, just kidding. So for me, for my number 5, we're going back to franchises with this one, because my number 5 is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I swear I didn't plan that. Since I am not a skibbity riz broccoli haired 6'7" degenerate, I didn't particularly care for this flick. If you are a literal child with the attention span of a fruit fly and or someone who knows the lore to tism levels of accuracy, then maybe this movie is for you. But since I am neither of those things, I found this flick to be an absolute slog. The acting is horrid, the story is barely there, and I could not manufacture a single granule of fuck throughout this entire goddamn movie. The fact that the kid actors can run circles around some of the adult actors is saying a lot. Despite some great animatronics to look at and a decent third act, it can't save this insipid sophomore effort in this overrated franchise. Scott Cawthon, please, for the love of God, get another writer who can actually fucking write movies, you goddamn twat, because God knows you fucking can't. And Matthew Lillard, I love you. I do. I love you. But for the love of God, between this, the upcoming Scream 7, and Daredevil Born Again, please get a better agent, because you're actually starting to make Quentin Tarantino have a point, and that is probably scarier than anything in this entire fucking movie.
All right, so before I say my number 5, I have 2 words for you all. Just everybody leaning. Come on closer. Come here.
No.
Chicken jockey.
Oh!
My number 5. Yeah, my number 5 is Minecraft. I never played Minecraft. Yeah, it was never my thing, so I have no nostalgia for this franchise. We were originally supposed to do a review for this movie, but after that awful first trailer came out, we took it off the schedule. So I had no interest in watching it. However, I had time to kill before therapy, so I had decided to go to a low attendance screening. That way, I wouldn't have to worry about people throwing popcorn at me. And after seeing it, I should have seen Sinners for a third time, because goddamn, this is just another soulless fucking product that exists just to make money. All of the acting is awful. Everybody phones it in. Jack Black just plays himself cranked up to 25. Yo, you know all of he's got all of his Jackisms, his scoopity-doos, skadooshes, scoopity-doos. He does all of that shit here. He's just playing himself. Jason Momoa, he's just sleepwalking through his performance. The kids aren't good. The black chick, whoever the fuck she is, I don't remember. She's just there. There's no depth or chemistry between any of these leads, including the brother and sister. It isn't funny. The visuals of the CGI are just so fucking ugly to look at. It's a ripoff of the Lego movie because it tries to preach creativity, and it's completely uncreative. But the worst part about this movie is it's fucking annoying. I walked out of this movie with a fucking headache and my ears were bleeding because every fucking character, everyone's just screaming their dialogue. Everyone's yelling. Everyone's acting all extra. And oh my fucking God, it was starting to get on my fucking nerves. It's like, just dial it down. You don't have to go. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, every character is just fucking screaming. It was just starting to give me a fucking headache. Like, I know this movie almost made a fucking billion, and I'm glad I didn't have to worry about someone throwing a chicken at me. But this movie was fucking terrible. Probably the worst video game movie I saw this year. And no, I am not watching the sequel. Fuck that shit. It really says something when the only positive experience I had when it comes to this movie was my 11-year-old sister yelling, "You're not Steve," when the Minecraft trailer played. When Jack Black said, "I am Steve." That's it. Fuck this movie. This did not make me go. This didn't change my mind. I don't care about Minecraft. Fuck this.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, anybody who was in the movie theater tossing up shit in the movie theaters when Chicken Jockey was on, by the way, fuck you guys. You guys are assholes. One, that scene isn't funny. And two, you're messing with a bunch of people who are working a hard job and having to clean up your mess. Seriously. Like, actually, screw you for that. That's it, though. I'm done.
Okay.
I
Rome?
would say it better myself.
My turn?
Mhm.
Okay. So my number 5 for worst movie of the year is Until Dawn. Thank for the positive thing I can say about this movie. I saw it on Netflix, so I don't have to spend any money on it. It just didn't work for a movie based on a video game. Just had no personality or very generic. Just nothing really worked. Kind of reminded me of something from an early 2000s video game movie. Just not a good movie. I didn't really see a whole lot of bad movies this year, so this is my number 5.
All right. Well, it's time for me, and of course, my number 5 is from a studio that, in the anime lore that I love and adore, of course, and you guessed it, is fucking Wolfman, produced by, of course, everyone's favorite studio, Bloomhouse. Um, Look, I'll keep this short and sweet. It's just very dull. It's pretty sloppy. The Wolfman doesn't really look like a wolf. I guess the transformation in body horror was okay, which is why it keeps it from it being very high, being higher. And I got a conspiracy theory that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat here for a second. I genuinely believe that Blumhouse no longer wants to make horror movies. Instead, they want to make really shitty drama films. Because I swear to God, this and the last few movies that I've seen from this fucking studio, they are not scary whatsoever. They try to go way deeper than they should with the whole daddy issues stuff in this film. Yes, I remember that. That's one of the very few things I remember is that this guy had daddy issues. And also, I thought the writing was very bad, and there were some bad jump scares, and somehow this movie felt like it was rushing but very slow. I don't know how that's possible, but congratulations, Bloomhouse. You figured it out. You cracked the Krabby Patty secret formula. And then the ending happened, and it was just very fucking lame. Because of course, Bloomhouse gonna Bloomhouse. Maybe there would have been a decent movie in here somewhere, but once again, I may add, Bloomhouse gonna Bloomhouse. And whether it was just rushed or whatever, doesn't change the fact that this movie was just flat out bad. Somehow, not Blumhouse's worst movie this year, because congratulations, Blumhouse. Not only did you make it on my list once, but you're about to make it a second time later on. But there we go. That's it. That's my number 5.
I go last. I go last.
All right. Oh, all right.
Okay. Jesus. Calm your panties, dude. Even though I kind of spoiled what your number 5 was anyway, by accident.
I go last. Get it right.
Excuse me. So at number 5, this is my last MCU project. I swear, but yeah, it's Marvel Zombies. I'm so sick and tired of Disney and their like desperate need to try to appeal to the older audience of, hey, you see, we can be gory and serious and mature. See, we have blood and gore, and people are saying fuck. You see people, you see, we can be dramatic and serious. Like throughout the entire marketing of Marvel Zombies, they didn't they kept saying, oh, this show is going to be TVMA. this is going to be so serious, so gory. And I'm watching it and I'm like, it's basically just a typical Marvel movie with typical Marvel quips and humor, just with more gore, I guess, because it's zombies. But even then, I can't even give you guys credit for that. And it's not even like this is a new adaptation of Marvel Zombies. Like this takes place after Marvel's What If, which I also think is the worst show that the MCU has made, and that's saying something because of the fact that She-Hulk and Secret Invasion exist. But yeah, Marvel Zombies was annoying. Some of the characters were pointless and they just like did not need to be there. And the only character that I really cared about, or two characters that I cared about, was Miss Marvel and Blade and Spider-Man. Actually, I forgot. Yeah, Spider-Man's in this, and like they just, it's just so annoying. Like there's so many contrivances and so many like dumb ass pulls that they make to make it so that like certain things happen the way that they happen. I don't know if people in here have watched it, but Scarlet Witch just like all of a sudden decides to like be like, oh, I'm gonna take over the world with my zombies and yada yada yada. Marvel Zombies is just like, it's boring. It doesn't do anything challenging. It doesn't do anything new. It doesn't even try to be serious. It's just the same old Marvel stuff that we're used to seeing. And I honestly, I don't even know why I thought I could give them the benefit of the doubt that they would do anything different. And once again, Disney duped me because I believe that they actually, for once, could stop, treating its audience like little ass kids and actually try to be, mature. But that's like asking for lightning to strike twice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once I get to number 4 onwards, that's when it gets like, yeah.
All right.
And then there was one. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Technically, you haven't. Technically, we have someone else to read, but yeah, go on.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No. There's no, because I'm saying, but just go on. Just go on.
Okay. All right. I mean, you can go ahead and do Zach's.
No, you go on ahead. You go on do.
Right.
I'm going to read Zach's after everybody gets done.
Okay. Then my number 5 is Tron Ares. Yeah, fuck this movie. Dear God. I you know what the thing is, we went to a theater in Kannapolis where, it was owned by the city, it's this historic theater in Kannapolis, and it was owned by the city, and the prices are like literally like $4 for a fucking ticket, and so and I'm so fucking old they gave me and her the senior discount. So I mean, shit, it was like $3.75. It was like $7.50 for 2 fucking tickets, And the popcorn is like $3-4 of this shit. So I mean, we didn't even spend $10 in this shit, and it still wasn't fucking worth it. Dear fucking God, man. I mean, that was a fucking waste of time. That was awful. That was 2 hours of fucking torture. Jesus Christ. I figured this would be bad. God damn. I mean, when even 9 Inch Nails, when Trent Reznor can't save your fucking film, holy shit, that's bad. God damn. I mean, that was literally the only halfway decent thing about this movie was the fucking music. And even then you couldn't hear it half the time. They didn't. But I mean, because I mean, and I will defend Jared Leto as an actor. I think he's a good actor. He's talented, but I mean, in this, he just phoned it in. I mean, he just looked bored and totally uninterested to be there. And it just wasn't interesting. The thing is, they tried to do a soft reboot with this, but they did it in completely the wrong way. They didn't do anything to explain the lore or the world. So, my poor girlfriend who had never seen any of the other Tron movies was sitting there confused most of the time. And I had to explain what was going on to her. And so it didn't do anything to bring in anybody new. And at the same time, you pissed off your core base by doing a soft reboot that kind of shoved aside. It just pretty much ignored everything that goes on. Where on the last one, even though they kind of paid it lip service, but saying, oh yeah, that guy, he was just like a loser and shit. When everybody liked him, everybody liked his son, So I mean, So I mean, you pissed off your core base. You didn't do anything to bring anything new, so of course it failed, and it was a snooze fest. It was absolutely awful. It was 2 hours that just boring. I mean, even the visuals were not compelling. Which has always been kind of the hallmark of Tron films. The original was groundbreaking with its computer graphics. And the sequel was really good, but this one just they really dropped the ball on this one. So, but I mean, so anyway, yeah, this was absolutely awful to me. So this was one of the ones that pissed me off. I mean, it wasted my time with my girlfriend. We could have been drinking all that time. So yeah,
Tron Ares, or as I like to call, Virtual Boys Tron.
Yeah, exactly.
At least we got to see Nine Inch Nails live.
I mean, Jared Leto has the opposite of the Midas touch when it comes to franchises. Every franchises he touches turns to shit.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. So next we have Mr. Gaxiola's number 5. Let me pull up what he said. Oh, damn. Hold on. Shit. Okay, here we go. So Zach's number 5 is Flight Risk. Unlike most people, I was actually intrigued to see Mel Gibson return to the fold with something smaller scale and against type to his usual epics, and the trailer even looked good, I thought. But much like Tarkovsky with Fixed, the actual execution was dog shit. The film actually started off promising enough with its first act and build-up, and Mark Wahlberg was consistently entertaining, but it fell, and my phone fell asleep, but it fell apart from there, and I was torn apart by too many dumb character decisions and an anticlimactic ending. So that's his number 5. Now we will get to movie and cartoon fans. See if I could pull it up. I got to scroll through a lot of comments. So, shit, where is it? Oh, there it is. All right. So, movie and cartoon fan, his number 5 is Bridemaid. Hard. I'm an idiot. Remember before 2019's The Hustle and Cats when Rebel Wilson used to be a funny actress? I do too. She was a funny actress?
I didn't know this.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know she was ever funny.
I thought Rebel Wilson was funny.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty funny in the Pitch Perfect movies, and yes, I have seen Pitch Perfect. Okay, don't judge me.
Okay, so now I guess we move on to number 4. So for my number 4, okay, so I did say that Minecraft was a terrible movie on its own. However, the reason why it's not higher is I could see how it could have some kind of connection with fans of the games, since the Minecraft stories didn't really have much of a story to begin with. It still failed miserably, but I can see how it could pretty much please some fans. Now, with that being said, who the fuck is Until Dawn meant for? Who was this movie meant for? It certainly wasn't meant for moviegoers, and it certainly doesn't appeal to fans either. From what I keep hearing is that they pretty much say that the Until Dawn movie was about as accurate as the 90s Super Mario Brothers movie is to the games. Yes, that's from what I heard. Now, I can't say for certain because I've never played the Until Dawn games. But even as a movie itself, this movie is such a failure. The acting was awful. The scares, non-existent. The characters, dumb as bricks. The story, cliche to all hell. This movie added nothing to it. I will repeat something that my friend Devin, aka Cinemax Sterling, I don't know where he went, but I'm sure he'll be back. I will say something he said before with I can't remember which movie. I liked nothing about this movie. Nothing. I'm even trying to debate which is worse, this or Borderlands. Yes, that bad. There was nothing about this movie that worked for me. Like I said, it was terribly. And the editing was also terrible. I forgot to mention terrible editing, terrible cinematography, and from what I keep hearing, the only kind of resemblance it has to the games is the fact that the clock resets, and after everybody dies, everything resets. Oh, but it's just like the games. If it's like the games, then why don't I have the controller in my hands? Exactly. This, I understand trying to be faithful to a video game, but they try to go way too far with this kind of shit, to the point where it looks so ridiculous as a movie. Because this is meant to be a movie, not a video game. Because every time they kept resetting the clock and all these characters dying and everything restarts, I kept expecting the load screen to show up. I kept expecting the load screen to just load up the next game so I could try again. My God, fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. I'm at least glad that we have movies like the Sonic trilogy or the Castlevania Netflix series, Cyberpunk, the Fallout. I'm glad we have at least good video game adaptations, because it's shit like this that makes people think the era of Uwe again. All right. Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, this movie is actually absolutely nothing like the game. The only thing is like the clock resets, as you said. Literally nothing else. The characters, what they look like, the story, anything. Literally nothing like the game. So,
yeah,
it's fun.
But fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. Don't ever watch it. John, you're next.
Yes, I know. Now I'm about to piss off everybody. Woohoo! Because my number 4 is gonna raise a lot of eyebrows, but I simply do not fucking care, and that is One Fucking Battle After a Motherfucking Another. Despite some decent trailers, I had a strong feeling I wouldn't like this movie, as the 2 other PTA movies I have seen, I didn't care for them, those being Inherent Vice, which sucked, and Licorice Pizza, which was mid. I mean, it had a slightly intriguing opening, but once Sean Penn is, how do I say this, forcibly put into pole position, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I almost entirely gave up on this propaganda surface level fuckfest, and it just got worse the more I thought about it. The cast is unimpressive outside of maybe Benicio del Toro and Chase Infinity. Everyone is an over-exaggerated buffoon who exists as eye-rolling cliches to spoon-feed you PTA's therapy sessions, kink list, and surface-level political leanings, all rolled into one. Woohoo! It acts like it's higher than thou and actually smart and saying something of meaning when it really doesn't. But hey, since everyone bought this fucking heavy load of a movie, I guess it somehow fucking worked. But hey, if Ty West becoming critically acclaimed for Shutting a Door and Skinamarink can become critically acclaimed for 90 minutes of walls, I guess anything is fucking possible. Fuck you, Paul Thomas Anderson. You're a piece of shit, and I don't think I will like any of your fucking slopfest movies. But we'll have to wait and see on that one.
You know what? I was watching One Battle After Another, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was like 40 minutes in, and I'm like, I was kind of bored. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I'm glad. Hey, I haven't seen the whole movie, but like, I was like, damn, like everyone's calling this movie the best of 2025, and I'm like, am I missing something here? Like, I was kind of I was bored. I was bored.
Yes, you were missing something.
Now you guys know why I pretty much told you that I'm not revealing anyone's list before tonight.
Touche.
Because I wanted to see everyone's raw reactions.
All right, my turn.
All right, hold on. All right, let me get to. Okie dokie.
All right, my number 4 is not the worst horror movie of the year, but the worst slasher movie of the year, Hell of a Summer. Or as I like to call it, hell of a bummer. Because this was an absolute bummer to sit through. I was curious because this was Finn Wolfhard's directorial debut. So, oh, he's directing something? Okay, I mean, I like him as an actor. I'm curious to see how he'll do as a director. Him and his friends. Wow, this was shit. Maybe you should stick to acting, buddy, because woof. It's
Hard?
one of the
Wolf hard. Sorry.
yeah. Well, it's one of those movies that it's trying to be satire of the slasher genre. It's trying to be a slasher of horror movies, but you know, it's shitty satire. And there's better movies that are good satire of horror. Or slasher movies like Scream, like Cabin in the Woods. Like it just becomes a generic camp horror movie because you have unlikable characters. You know, it isn't scary. The humor is awful. It's not funny. And then here's the biggest, and like movie cartoon fan was saying, this movie is an absolute scam. This is an R-rated slasher movie by Neon. And we all know there are certain movies that Neon distributed that don't fuck around. Like Long Legs, Infinity Pool, or another movie I will get to on my favorites of the year list. But again, you have a slasher movie. Why is every fucking kill a cutaway? Just like with Death of a Unicorn, you could have made this movie fucking PG-13 and nothing would have changed. Like, we could have had some gnarly fucking kills here. Like, there's a lot of good setups. Like, you see the killer like getting ready to shoot an arrow to somebody. It cuts away. Someone has a peanut allergy. He puts peanut butter on the knife before he stabs the guy. Of course, they cut away. You're not peeping Tom. God damn it. But at least that movie came out in the 60s. This was 65 years later. You have no fucking excuse. And then the killer's identities are just fucking predictable. Like, their motive is just the killer's motive from Scream 4. We're killing people just because we want to be famous. No. But yeah, like I said, the characters, they're all unlikable and annoying. The story's boring. The satire's poor. I know people say, like, Strangers Chapter 2 was the worst slasher movie of the year. But you know what? I didn't see that movie. I didn't fucking care to. So, Finn Wolfhard and Finn's friend, whoever you are, like I said, stick to acting instead. Because this is one of the worst directorial debuts I have ever seen. This was, like movie and cartoon fan said, an absolute scam. Boom.
All right. Rome?
I forgot all about Hell of a Summer. Shit. Oh my god, bad memories. So my number 4 is Wolfman. And no, it's nothing like Dogman. It's dog shit. I don't know what more to say about this movie. It's dog shit, bad effects, bad acting. It's disappointing because the director did The Invisible Man a few years ago, and that was a really good movie. Where this is just it just fell off the cliff, literally. Good for Julia Gardner for bouncing back with Weapons and Fantastic Four. So I'm happy at least she got out of that shithole of a movie and gone into a couple of other movies this year and ended on a strong note for 2025. But it's dog shit. Don't watch it. Another shitty ass movie from Blumhouse. That's it.
All right. So my number 4 is a movie that will more than likely not be on anybody's top 5 or probably won't even be anywhere close on this list. Is Friendship. I put in my letterbox review, I don't get it, I don't understand it, and quite frankly, I don't want to understand. This movie was a fucking piece of shit, and let me explain to you why. It is not funny. It's not creepy. And quite frankly, this movie made me want to fucking punch Tim Story's fucking head in. Because quite frankly, he's not funny. He's a lame-ass, boring white fuck who's like, ooh, son, let's watch the Marvel movie. You want to see the Marvel movie that's coming out? This is probably the same motherfucker that probably doesn't season his food. He probably sees one fleck of salt and he faints because he's so fucking lame. Oh my god, Paul Rudd. Dude, this year, I swear to God, made me start to hate Paul Rudd a little bit. Because between this and my number one, he is not likable. He's not funny. None of the characters are likable, by the way. Kate Mara, by the way, is not good in this either. She's also an unlikable bitch. The ending is unsatisfying. And once again, do I have to keep reminding people that this movie is not funny? It's trying to do shit in this film. And then the ending happens and it makes no sense. I think this movie would have been more satisfying if, God forbid, just have the guy be the bigger guy and say, nope, I fucked up. You're right. I apologize. No, instead we're going to do the absurdist thing. We're just going to wave a gun around. And, then of course we got to do the running gag of Paul Rudd being bald because that gave me fucking flashbacks to Flight Risk, with the fucking bald ass Mark Wahlberg. It's just all in all, this movie does not work. I think it's trying to be something that it's not. It's not clever, it's not funny, it's not creepy. Like Mark said, this movie made me hate Tim Story. I have no
Tim Robinson. Rudd. Tim Story's the guy who directed the Fantastic Four movies. Tim Robinson. Sorry, that was really annoying.
Tim Robinson, Tim Story, tomato, who gives a fuck? He sucks. End of story. I'll never watch any of his shit. Paul Rudd, either get some better get a better agent or just get off the high horse, you dumb fuck. That's it. That's my number 4.
Also, I want to, before we get to Jay's, I also want to add on to one other thing. The music was super weird.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Thank you, Rob. Thank you for thank you for reminding me of that shit. Why the fuck in a comedy film does it have a music of a horror movie? Like, you're trying to add ambiance and atmosphere to a movie that doesn't fucking have any. Does that make any sense to you? I was half expecting Tim Story to come out with the slasher mask. Go, ooh, look at me, Kate Mara, look at me. Do you want? Can I give you an orgasm now? Will you get an orgasm now that I have a fucking machete in my hand? Shit, that would have been more fucking interesting.
Well, so number 4, actually, this is the first movie that I have on this list. And I know Devin is probably going to look at me sideways when I say this because he has it as like a number. I think he has like 4 or 5 stars on Letterboxd. But highest to lowest sucked. It fucking sucked. I'm sorry. Now, granted, this is the first, and I set myself up for this. This is the first Spike Lee movie that I've ever watched, and honestly, I probably could have had a little more under my belt before watching this one. I know that he's made some gems, Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, He's Got Game, a bunch of other great movies. But I saw the trailer for this like about a month or so ago, and I was pretty interested because Denzel Washington. I'll see anything that has Denzel Washington in it. And then you also have Jeffrey Wright, another great actor who I love. And, you have, A$AP Rocky. I've seen A$AP Rocky act before in Dope. And okay. A$AP Rocky was great in the movie Dope that had Shameik Moore in it, which is also a good movie. But as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, it doesn't feel like a movie that I feel like had the right direction, because the plot of this movie is pretty much, Denzel Washington is playing this big time producer who he was big in the 90s and is kind of fell off a little bit, but is still like relevant, and he has like a really popular record company, and his son gets kidnapped. And I don't know about you guys, but I know if my son was to get, because out of everybody in here, Mark definitely can attest to this. If someone's kid got kidnapped, they would go ballistic.
Thank you.
they would go absolutely crazy, not acting like he just was like lost for like 30 seconds and that, oh, everything's gonna be okay. Oh, everything's gonna be okay. Like, it's not, oh, like, dude, your kid got kidnapped. At least act like you care. Like, what is, like, what, huh? And I'm not one to like, disrespect or sorry, trash someone's acting, but the acting of the mother in that movie was bad. It was bad. It was so bad. And I don't know what her past like work is, and I hope I'm wrong, but it just wasn't good at all. And then oh my god. And then literally midway in the movie, he like their son gets like, they find their son, and then it turns out another kid got kidnapped, and then Denzel Washington's character is like his best friend's son is kidnapped, and bro is contemplating whether or not to pay the ransom or to not. And I'm like, dude, he is your godson. You're his godfather. Why are you thinking about this? Pay the money so that he can be safe and he won't be kidnapped or killed. What is wrong with you? I'm just like, dude, why are you thinking about this? Is it like, why are you thinking about this? This shouldn't be up for debate at all. And another thing that really got on my nerves, it was the editing. As someone who likes to edit, I know I can when a bad editing move is like noticeable, it really irks me. There were multiple scenes in this movie where they would have this, where one there's a scene, right, where two people dap each other up, and the scene repeats itself, but it's in a different angle, and I'm like, dude, this kept happening multiple times, and I'm just like, bro, this is making my head hurt. I haven't seen editing this badly since The Last Airbender. And the editing in that movie was also terrible. And then the music was also really like, just music really like enhances or like makes a scene worse. And there were certain scenes where the music was just like, it felt off to me. And I mean, was it a bad film? Like, was it like the worst film I've ever seen? No, but it wasn't good either. And honestly, I was very disappointed watching this because I know that Spike Lee and Denzel Washington, they have worked together before. And it's like, dude, you could have done so much better with this movie. And it turned out to be like this. And I was very disappointed. Like, honestly, like this movie really left me disappointed. Like, I had a lot of high expectations, but I just was so disappointed because I know that this could have been better. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, once we get to number 3, this is when it gets worse. This is when it gets absolutely worse from here. Because number 3, oh my god, I need to have a whole soliloquy because number 3 is terrible.
Mark?
Yeah, I got it. My number 4 is Until Dawn. Oh, fuck this movie. Goddamn. This, every time that, we get, say, a Sonic movie or Super Mario Brothers or something that, that where every single time that video game movies take one step forward, some shit like this comes out and it's 2 steps back again. What the actual fuck? This was just boring as fuck. Hell, Jesus Christ. How does anybody even enjoy these games? It's so stupid. I mean, they really thought it would be a great idea to see the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. Holy shit. It was boring. The acting was awful. The characters were stupid. It was just absolutely atrocious all around. There's no redeeming value here. The only good thing I can say about it is, like Rome said, I didn't have to pay for this shit. So, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. Fuck this movie. Jesus Christ. I felt like I was trapped in hell with the movie. I wanted them to kill me to put me out of my fucking movie. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Mark, great minds think alike, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we both have that movie at number 4.
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, let me go and get to Mr. Gexiology's number 4. And okay. Let me pull up what he said. Yada 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 yada. Okay, here we go. So Zach's number 4 is The Strangers Chapter 2. Chapter 1 was already abysmal, so I had no hope for this one being any better, and unfortunately it fell short of literally no expectations I had. This film wastes its 90 minutes on our main chick, suspecting every person she comes across of being in the killings, fighting boars, and overrunning the actual killers. Wash, rinse, repeat. But even worse, this movie commits time to giving an origin to the strangers, which defeats the entire fucking point of them being strangers. There's not supposed to be a motive. They'll target you simply because you were home. All right. So that's Zach's number 4. Now let me go ahead and find movie cartoon fans number 4. And let me see if I can find it. Can't see the comments. Okay, so it looks like he pretty much put a new one since there's so many comments, I don't feel like I have to scroll all the way up to it. Movie Cartoon Fan has War of the Worlds. This movie is hilariously bad. I'm convinced the Asylum made this movie while tricking Ice Cube into this movie. Is 2025's Madam Web. Alrighty.
But my God, was it one of the most entertaining movies I fucking watched last year.
Seriously, holy shit!
Okay. Not gonna lie. Right here, I'm gonna say this right now. I haven't seen it, but I'm kind of curious at this point.
Please,
I'm kind of curious.
Let's go watch it together one day.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
Now we finally convinced you. Yes, I'd watch it again. I'd fucking watch it again. Like that was so much fun.
It's you. You know what? If we were to bring back, I'll tell you what. If we ever bring back Bad Movie Roast, will you guys be up for one of War of the Worlds 2025?
I'll do it.
Let's do it. And I already know Zach's gonna be pissed. Zach, I know you're watching, but we're gonna do it anyway. You don't care.
You know what, Rob? Zach doesn't like fucking fun. That's why. Just kidding, Zach. Or am I?
All right. So anyway,
let's move on.
Let's move on to our number 3. All right. So let me pull up mine and scroll all the way down. Okay. So my number 3 was a movie that I remember seeing at an AMC Screen Unseen. It was one I really did not know what to think of. And after seeing it, I pretty much wanted to go all Hulk on this movie. I was really pissed off at this movie. And I'm pretty sure one person here will probably, I think pretty much one person here will see eye to eye. But my number 3 is Oh Hi. Fuck this movie. I knew the movie. When you see the first 15 minutes of it, you pretty much think, oh, it's just like some kind of generic, forgettable rom-com kind of thing. It seems to be going okay. And then 15 minutes in, when the guy says, right after having sex, mind you, the guy right after having sex says, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. This is when everything starts to fall apart. Everything. The characters are so hateable. I really could not care about any of them. I was just hoping that someone would drop a nuke on them because that's how much I really hated these characters. It seems like it wants to be a film about Stockholm Syndrome, but it doesn't even know what the fuck Stockholm Syndrome is even about. And if cinema therapy has taught me anything, is they say that Stockholm Syndrome is not in the DSM-5. It's not a mental disorder. It's something that was pretty much made from pop culture. But even then, what really pisses me off about this movie is the double standard. Oh yeah, so if a woman is being kidnapped and abused and beat, it's like a horror movie or like a shocking drama. But when it happens in a comedy, but when it happens to a man, isn't it so funny? Isn't watching male abuse hilarious if it's done to a woman? Fuck you! fuck you. This movie really angers me to no end. And honestly, I'm really mad at myself that this wasn't even higher. But we'll get to those later. All I gotta say is, fuck Ohio. Fuck this garbage. Never watch it. That's it. I'm done.
All right. So my number 3 is probably a movie nobody here has even fucking heard of, but I'll get into it anyway, because my number 3 is House on Eden, the YouTuber horror movie that was definitely overshadowed by Shelby Oaks, but most likely just as mediocre. The unfortunate part is House on Eden is ungodly boring for most of it, generic as all hell, bad cliches, and the characters were more annoying than anything, even though I am a fan of the person who directed, wrote, produced, and starred in the movie, Chris Collins, and I am glad she finally achieved her dream of like making a movie and, you know, having it shown in a theater and all that. But that doesn't save this movie from being bland and not scary. It's not innovative and feels like every other bargain bin found footage movie that I've seen. And I know found footage films can be good, like House's October Bill, Behind the Mask, Chronicle, there are a lot of really good found footage movies. Grave Encounters is another one. There's a lot of great ones. Don't get me wrong. It's just then there's shit like this that makes me remember, oh yeah, stuff like Blair Witch Project also exists, and this is kind of leaning more towards that. Not quite as bad, not nearly as bad as that. However, still not very good. I will say, if I have to give any credence to this movie, the second half is a little bit better than the first half. The film is mercifully short at less than 80 minutes long, and the ending had a decent twist, but that doesn't save it either. It's unfortunately lame as hell. It's not the worst thing ever, as I said, but I saw this for free, yet I still wanted my money back.
All right. My number 3 is Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Weekend's Wank Fest. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit I share a birthday with The Weeknd. And keep in mind, I share a birthday with Kim Jong-il. So, this shows how bad this movie is. I know Jay gave us warnings about The Idol, but I was curious because I liked one of the director's other movies, It Comes at Night. And thank God I was the only person in the theater when I saw this. When I saw it, it was completely empty. Because I roasted it the whole fucking time. Much like with Minecraft, this isn't a movie. This is just a promotion for The Weeknd's latest album. And it's trying to emulate Purple Rain, but without all the fun and the good music. Like, I know I said him was pretentious. This is pretentious. The editing is terrible. There's so many weird, like, flashy transitions that just take you out of the movie. The Weeknd's acting is some of the worst I have ever seen. This guy makes fucking Tommy Wiseau look like Marlon fucking Brando. Like, we all know the clip going around shut the fuck up! Shut up! What are you doing? I gotta catch a flight. I gotta go. Or how it opens with him blowing a fucking raspberry. Like, Jesus fuck. Like, this whole movie is like, guys, The Weeknd is deep. He's an artiste. Like, he's deep. He's deep. He's fucking deep. Like, bitch, he ain't deep. Like, there is, like, no plot. there's no characters. There's nothing. Like half of it is just either watching a fucking Weekend concert or just listening to him fucking whine about his ex, or just watch him be a fucking douchebag to everybody. Like, my girlfriend doesn't love me. Fuck you. I'm the Weekend bitch. I'm a chicken bitch. I like Barry Keoghan. I love Jenna Ortega. Even they fucking suck in this movie. Like, after this in Death of a Unicorn, Jenna Ortega really needs to fucking fire her agent. Like, the fact, like, the scene I can't get out of my fucking head besides the shut the fuck up is Jenna's fucking character kidnapping the Weekend and doing a fucking Patrick Bateman analysis to one of his songs while she's fucking dancing around the room like a fucking idiot. Like, she actually signed up for this. Like, how was she not fucking embarrassed by this? Like, she looks so fucking stupid doing this. And, like, there's no suspense here. It's just, there's just long, dragged out scenes of nothing fucking happening. And there's no ending. It just stops. Mind you, it's funny when you think about it that Jenna Ortega is torturing the Weekend with his own fucking music. Like, she kills Barry Keoghan, lets him go, sets the room on fire, and then she just disappears, and then it just stops. Okay? There's no resolution. There's no ending. What the fuck was the point of watching this movie? It sure as fuck didn't get me a go to check out The Weeknd's new album. Like, what was the point of this? Like, thank God this fucking bombed, and hopefully The Weeknd doesn't fucking act again. And look, I'm sure everybody here will agree with this. If I want to watch a musician playing a character that's also a tie-in to an album or a song, I'd watch fucking Purple Rain. I'd watch fucking 8 Mile. Because at least those are good fucking those. At least Purple Rain is a fucking classic banger of an album. At least Lose Yourself is a great song, and Prince and Eminem are better actors than this fucking hack. Fuck The Weeknd. Fuck this movie.
Pink Floyd, The Wall, bitch.
Let's say Pink Floyd. Yeah, and The Wall.
I tried to tell you that The Weeknd cannot act, and you didn't listen to me. I told you.
Well, thank you for bringing up The Wall. I completely forgot about that. I was just so fucking heated about this movie.
Like, you had to watch about 2 hours of this man acting. I had to endure 8 episodes of this man's acting. It's terrible.
Jesus.
It's terrible.
I mean, everybody knows he's a bad actor, so you stay away from his movies and shows or whatever else he's trying to do.
It's just like, yeah, that scene though is so funny. He's like, "Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I got to go. I got
that sounds really
calls.
funny.
I'm a farmer.
I'm a farmer. I'm The Weeknd.
At least the actual weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is get a day off.
All right, so it's my turn, or Devin, you still?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right,
let me put off Devin's banner. Boom.
Okay, so my number 3 is a movie that no one's ever heard of. It's a found footage, found footage slasher type kind of movie called The Man with the Black Umbrella. The trailer was very appealing. It was very over the top. It seemed like something worth checking out. It's about a 95-minute kind of movie. Unfortunately, I lost 90 minutes of my time, and that could have used up something else. It's a very undeveloped type kind of movie. The movie's really about a killer or a serial killer who commits double murders and then disappears without a trace, and there's no reason of knowing how he gets away with it. Overall, the movie is very undeveloped. The act is not great. They try to do a Paranormal Activity type thing where, like, the last 10 minutes is try to do a jump scare. But other than that, the movie's just really boring. Nothing really happens. Just a lot of talking. They try to build suspense up, but there's just no suspense with it. Nothing happens. It's just a really boring found footage film that's just very undeveloped and didn't have a budget to do anything. Yeah, it's number 3 worst movie of the year for my movies. That's it.
So my number 3 is my worst animated movie of this year. Unfortunately, it's from a guy that I actually really like, and that's Fixed. Tartovsky, I really like him. I mean, his Clone Wars show, I really like Primal. Unfortunately, this was a stinker in his catalog of pretty good stuff. Now, is it enough to make me hate him? No. I mean, if this is a passion project of his, then he probably should have saw Strays because that came out first, and it was still pretty bad. Granted, yeah, the animation's kind of cool, is kind of fine. The acting is fine. It just doesn't excuse the fact that this movie is just doing gross shit for the sake of doing gross shit. For fuck's sake, even I would, if I wanted to watch a dog eat shit, I'd watch my dog go into the litter box and eat cat shit. There was no fucking reason for this to be in this movie. I don't want to watch a movie where it's just a bunch of animated dog assholes. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see dog assholes. I don't want to see dog balls. I don't want to see dogs having sex. I don't want to see dogs having gay butt sex. I mean, hey, listen, that's fine if you if you like that stuff. And hey, I got friends that are, that way. But for fuck's sake, goddamn, if you want to watch dogs having gay butt sex, then, seek fucking medical help. Jesus Christ. This movie, it's not good. It's not good. I'm sorry. It's not. It's gross for the sake of being gross. There was no need for this. It's just bad. Don't watch it. It was no.
So before,
Seeking
also I
medical
forgot
help?
to mention this when Zach had when I was reading. By the way, before we get to Jay's, there was something I want to mention. I should have mentioned this when I was talking about Fixed on Zach's list. He pretty much blames me for making him watch it, even though I only asked him, are you planning to see it? Because I know you like Strays. He blames me, even though I told him I didn't make you watch shit. You could have said fuck that and not watch it. So Zach, if you're watching, you can't blame me for your fuck up. All right, that's it.
Okay. I'm putting the hood on because it's serious this time. And I know. All right. So I am ashamed for the reason because I have watched a movie that is also directed by this director who directed this movie that's at number 3 on my list. And it's a romance movie, just like the one that I have at number 3. And it is so bad, so stupid, so genuinely I can't comprehend why this is a film that wastes the talents of some pretty decent actors, because I don't understand why Regretting You was even made. Regretting You is probably one of the worst romance movies I've ever seen in my life. And that says a lot because I've been alive for 22 freaking years. So here's the premise of this film, right? So we have this movie, right, where the main girl, what's her name? The blonde, she's in everything now. She's dating Mason Thames.
McKenna Grace and Mason Thames are the lead.
Yeah, so McKenna Grace is the lead of this movie, right? And her and Mason Thames has some crazy crush on her, but is also in a relationship, and he keeps going on and off, basically toying with her emotions. And then McKenna Grace's dad and her aunt both die in a car accident because they were having an affair. And then her mom, for some reason, just decides to not tell her what that that's what happened, and just withholds information. And then her mom and her best friend from high school, who's played by Dave Franco, they just start hooking up, and then McKenna Grace is like, oh my god, like, I can't believe you guys are hooking up. So you know what? I'm gonna fuck some guy so I can get back at my mom. That'll teach her. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why are you like, what are you like, what are you on right now? This whole conflict is the only reason this conflict exists is because I get it. Her mom does not want to tell her daughter that her aunt and her dad had an affair and basically caused their own death. But it's like, dude, this whole conflict started because of you and not being honest with your daughter, and your daughter starts doing some stupid stuff. And the romance between Mason Thames and McKenna Grace, while yes, they have great chemistry because they're dating in real life, their love story is so stupid and weird. Like, why? Like, and then to come to find out that apparently, like, Mason Thames' character was like documenting like his entire like experience, like getting to know like McKenna Grace's character. And like, while mind you, he's in a relationship while this is happening, and he has a camcorder and is recording her for this whole project and whatnot. And it's like, dude, that is weird. First of all, that's number one. Number two, you're a terrible boyfriend because you kept leading your girlfriend on and off every single time. And then three, why is this perceived as romantic and not weird and creepy? Like, what is it with romantic movies and like romanticizing cheating and being weird and being like, you know, overstepping boundaries? That's not romantic. The Notebook is a great movie, but can we acknowledge the fact that both people are terrible people in that movie? Like, yeah, Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling are great, good-looking actors who get to, you know, do all lovey-dovey stuff, but they're terrible people who do a lot of shitty things to each other. Like, I'm sick and tired of romance movies, basically like saying, if you do bad things, you get rewarded. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. And the fact that so many people watch this movie simply for the fact that Mason Thames and McKenna Grace were in it, and mind you, a lot of people hate this movie, and I wanted to know why, and I watched it myself, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe that writing has gotten this bad. Like, I don't understand how far we've gotten in society that stuff like this is allowed to be made and published to the public. It's just, oh god. And you want to know what's even worse? This isn't even the worst romantic like comedy like product that I consumed, because there's something at number one that genuinely infuriates me to my core, that I actually I don't think I've ever hated something so much in the last like couple of years like this, because it made me want to actually strangle somebody. Okay, that's a little much. It made me want to jump through the TV and slap every single character that was involved in this thing that I have in number one. But let's move on, because before I get actually angry, because like seriously.
And it's not even the worst Colleen Hoover adaptation, because there is one worse. It ends with us, which says, hey, abuse is great and quirky, guys.
Like, seriously, I don't know why, like...
Fuck, it ends with us. Fuck that movie.
Yeah, and plus the off-screen controversy, like, oh my god.
Oh, I can go now. All right, thank you. All right, so yeah, my number three, same as my metalhead brother up here, Devin's Hurry Up Tomorrow. This movie was absolute shit. I saw this one late. I saw it. I wanted to see if I could add one more to my worst of list, and oh boy, did I. Yeah, this one was absolutely terrible. My dude, you are not Prince. Stop trying to be Prince. You are not Eminem in 8 Mile. You are not Pink Floyd The Wall. You just stop, dude. Stop. I mean, it's cringy as hell. It's just cringe all the way through. I mean, geez, there was one good moment in this film, one good moment, and that was when the fight between Barry Keoghan and Jenna Ortega. I was laughing the whole fucking time. I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but it was funny as hell to me. Dear God, I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it was funny as hell to me. I was laughing my ass off the whole fucking time. But Jesus Christ, if Barry fucking Keegan and Jenna Ortega cannot save your movie, you are in big fucking trouble. And dear boy, this one was terrible. Not to mention, enough has been said about the Weeknd's complete lack of ability to act. And none of it made any sense either. This film thinks it's deeper than it really is. It's just a bunch of weird imagery without saying absolutely fucking nothing. So it thinks it's cleverer than it really is, and that kind of shit is just infuriating. So yeah, this was absolute crap. So that's my number 3. And that's all I have to say about it. So fuck it. I don't even want to think about it anymore. Moving on.
All right. So now we move on to Mr. Gaxiola's number 3. And for his number 3, he has War of the Worlds. Let me see here. War of the Worlds in name only. I understand for some people it was so bad it can make you laugh, but as a junior fan of the source material, this flick only left me fuming. Not a single idea represents the actual story, and the acting all around is a joke, which kills me to say because I think Ice Cube as an actor is underrated as fuck. So I don't know what the hell happened with him here. Make an actual War of the Worlds film next time. Okay. But I don't care. I think we still ought to do a bad movie roast on that movie together.
Now I'm tempting. Now I want someone here to add the man, how could you? As a clip.
All right. But we'll do that. We'll do that. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about scheduling a bad movie roast for that another time, because right now we're talking about other shit. So movie and cartoon fan, and his number 3, he has The Woman in the Yard. As someone who has dealt with the loss of family members and has had suicidal thoughts, this film's message of telling me to commit oyster bath generally offended me. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I'm so glad I had not seen Woman in the Yard, and I'm so glad that Zach and Devin and my brother pretty much all told me what happened at the end. And after hearing what they had to say about it, and as coming from someone who has had several suicidal ideations in the past, you're going in the dark dimension. See ya. That's it. That's all I got to say.
As you know what, I just gotta say, speaking to somebody who has dealt with this, who has tried unaliving himself twice in my life and been hospitalized numerous times, I didn't get that message from it at all, not in the slightest. So I didn't get that message from it at all. I thought it was just the opposite. I saw it as very much anti that. So I thought it was more about just laying her struggle out there non-judgmentally. And this is what she's actually struggling with. So as a Black woman trying to raise, single mother trying to raise 2 kids in a
okay. One more thing.
That's just me.
I forgot to just something quick that Zach wanted me to add on to his number 3. The shit was so bad that it makes the 1993 film look like as faithful as the Steven Spielberg version in comparison. So that's it. Are you happy, Zach? You having your jerk off moment? Was it worth it? All right. Anyway, moving on to our number 2s. Let me pull up. Let me scroll all the way back because I have to keep changing. I have to keep switching between folders since StreamYard does not allow more than 50 banners at a time. And I didn't know that until I was setting these up. So anyway, so for my number 2, this one is just kind of similar to the last pick I had, which was Oh Hi. The reason I put this a little bit above Oh Hi was because I had zero expectations with that going in. I didn't even see a trailer for it. But I remember seeing the trailer for this one and at least being intrigued. My number 2 is The Surfer. Or as I like to call it, Beau is Afraid 2, God Says Fuck You. That's pretty much what it should have been called. Because, look, I understand that a lot of people like this movie. If you like it, good for you. I'm happy for you. I don't get it. I don't get it. Because what really frustrates me about this movie, I understand that when it comes to dark comedies, it's all subjective and all. You're either going to get offended or you're going to go along with the dark humor. But it's just like, I hated every single character in this movie. I did. It's like it just reminds me, like I said, it's like Beau Was Afraid 2, where all it is just bullying this guy for no reason. You know, the guy wants to serve and on with his son. And what does it end up happening? The locals pretty much tell him he needs to fuck off. And it's just one bad shit after another. Even with Nicolas Cage's performance, yeah, he does a good job. But then again, if he's in a serious role, if he's in a serious drama, then no shit that he's going to do a good job. So when he's kind of like when he's not being goofy and over the top, and is in a serious role, he can do a really good job. It's kind of like Adam Sandler in a way. When Adam Sandler's not doing dumbass voices for his stupid comedies and is being in a serious dramatic role, he can pull off a good job. So I expected that. So I can't even get brownie points for Nicolas Cage's performance because I expected that. So, and I hated every single character in this movie. Honestly, it's just like I wanted to rip these characters' heads off, you know? Now that I think about it, a lot of my picks in my top 10 have shitty characters. What is it with the 2025 movies and having shitty characters? Can someone explain that to me? With being so unlikable and being such complete dickbags. And it really hurts that this had to be Julian McMahon's last performance before he died. I think he deserved better than this. He deserved much better. Fuck The Surfer. Fuck this movie. Don't ever watch it. Let the sharks eat it. That's it.
All right, cool. So for me, my number 2, my penultimate choice has been talked about already. So I'll try to keep this short because everyone pretty much voiced their concerns already, way better than me. And that is Wolfman. Wolfman is my number 2. I will say though, no matter what people say, the fucking Wolfman is not a Wendigo because that's a bullshit fucking argument, and I will die on that hill. Anyway, so, but does that make it a good movie? No, unfortunately, Lee Wannell's next remake that succeeded his actually good one was not good. As Devin said, it's pretty much The Fly, but not good at all. You know, the performances are all pretty weak. The effects are not very good. The editing is haphazard. It has a really boring first act and a slog-inducing third act. Second act was okay. Like, I could see what they were trying to do, but it didn't work. Julia Garner, goddamn, I never thought I'd say this, but thank fucking Christ for Fantastic Four, and also thank God for Weapons. But she seemed bored out of her mind. Christopher Abbott, he tried but failed. And it's just not scary. It's boring, and I really wanted to like this movie because I see what they were going for, but when you're literally spelling out the themes of your movie in the last 5 minutes, like, hey guys, this is what the movie's about. This is exactly what we were going for. You failed. And you failed. So, sorry, bro. Lee Wannell, maybe your buddy James Wan can give you more work, because clearly I think you need to stick with him at this case, because, this was not a good one. If I have to give it any points for anything, I like the daughter character. She was, like, okay. Like, in terms of kid actor, she was fine. And I like the conversations she has with her parents, because I respect, like, especially in media, when you have parents that don't talk down to their children, because that fucking annoys the fucking hell out of me. It's like, treat your kid like a person, not an idiot. So I respect that. I appreciate that. But that doesn't save this movie because, again, like, as Austin said, what are they trying to do? Make a drama, but, like, throw a monster in there for some reason? I don't know. But, yeah, this was Not very good. I probably liked it a little bit more than everyone else here, but even then, it's still not that good of a movie. It's still very weak. But yep, that's my number 2. Bald Man, you go now.
Yeah, that'll be his next movie. He's done Wolfman. He's done Invisible Man. His next movie, Bald Man. Although that was what the Wolfman was.
Bald, 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 bald.
All right, my top 2 flip flopped because they both equally disgusted me in different ways. They were both considered for number 1. However, I decided my number 2 had to be, and Rob already brought up this movie, Oh Hi. Oh Fuck is more like it. So, after taking a short break from it for a while, I decided to go back to attending Regal's Monday Mystery Movie Nights. And I've got to say, they've really stepped up their game. There were some good or even great movies I saw that even made it on my favorites of the year list. This thing, however, is not one of them. I didn't know what this was. I never saw a trailer. I didn't see any promotion for it. And oh, good Lord. I have not seen this many people walk out of a movie since Joker Folie à Deux. As I was watching it, I was texting our group chat saying, up, 2 more people walked out. Another person walked out. Up, another one walked out. Another one walked out. And I wanted to walk out, but I didn't. To put it simply, this movie is quite frankly disgusting. It's toxic. It's annoying. It's stupid. It's boring. It's torture to sit through. The acting is all bad. The characters are all unlikable morons. It rips off other movies, and there's a constant tonal whiplash. The worst part about this movie, however, is the story and how it's portrayed. It starts off as like a typical generic rom-com with some skinemax sex scenes, and then out of nowhere, the guy's like, oh, I never wanted a relationship with you. And then the fucking chick takes him hostage and says, I'm giving you this amount of time to fall in love with me. And then her friends come in and they plan to drug him and brainwash him. Oh, and did I mention that this movie is a comedy? A romantic comedy? To be specific? And I know of some streaming services later added that this is a black comedy, but they should have advertised that from the beginning. But they said this is a romantic comedy, and there is nothing romantic or comedic about this. Like, what? This again, like Rob said, this is double standard as fuck. If this was a man doing this to a woman, people would be singing a different tune. But for some reason, since this happens to a man, it automatically makes it funny for some fucking reason. Bullshit. Fuck you. It's shit like this. Like, jokes about rape or sexual harassment are like my least favorite kinds of jokes. I never found them funny. And when you have a movie that's relying on that, it fucking pisses me off. It's one of the reasons why I refuse to watch Horrible Bosses. But this is one of those movies where you flip the genders, everyone will be singing a different tune. This could have been a modern day version of Misery or Audition, but it's not. This guy being held hostage by these morons, and he's clearly scared out of his mind, is treated for laughs. Like, this movie is disgusting. Like, what's the jokes here? How is this funny? How is her drugging him supposed to be funny? How is him laying with a ball gag in his mouth funny? How is a neighbor knocking on a door and they scream supposed to be funny? What the fuck is funny about this movie? And then he had the ending, which makes me hate this movie even more. The guy frees himself, and instead of calling the cops and having this bitch arrested, he forgives her. Fuck you, 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 fuck you. Excuse me. We're supposed to sympathize with this bitch? No, fuck her. People that like this movie probably like 365 Days or 50 Shades of Grey. Or what was that shitty romance movie you were talking about, Rob? The end of something?
The what?
It ends with us.
Oh, it is with us. It is with us.
Yeah, people who like that probably would like this. Like, it makes me hate this movie even more. And it teaches young women, the wrong message. If a guy rejects you or doesn't want to be with you, instead of moving on, torture him, hold him hostage until he says yes. If this movie ended with the main girl and her dumbass friends dying or going to prison, maybe I would have given this, I don't know, a 1 star. But nope, it doesn't. So go fuck yourself. Fuck the heartless bitches that wrote and directed this.
Also, I want to add on to. Sorry, go on.
I don't like saying this, but if there's anyone out there that actually likes this garbage, I don't want to fucking meet them. Sophie Brooks and Molly Garden go to fucking therapy. And I am going to say this. This movie was so toxic, disgusting, and aggravating, it made me not want to go to another mystery movie for the rest of the year. Fuck Oh Hi. Fuck this shit.
What I was going to add on to it, because like I said, I saw this at the AMC Screen Unseen, which is practically AMC's the version of the Monday Mystery Movie. And for some reason, people were laughing about it. I don't know if there was like laughing gas pretty much spread throughout the theater or whatnot, but it was weird. But whatever. Anyway, Rome?
Okay, so my number 2 worst movie of the year is Snow White. And no, there's no Diddy White Party in the movie. Hi ho, hell no. It's nothing against the actors or people who made this movie. I mean, I feel bad for all of them for being a part of this movie. There's just no passion, no heart. This movie should have never been made. It's a pile of shit. That's all I got to say about this movie. The only positive I can say, I watched, it was on Disney Plus for free, and I couldn't even get through most of the movie. One of the worst movies of 2025.
Okie dokie.
All right.
I do, before you say anything, I do want to say, when we did our April Fool's stream, I will still never forget Rome saying, "What's a remake?" One of the best highlights of the year.
Yep.
Remake? What are you talking about? What's a remake?
What's a remake?
What's a remake?
Miles, play dumb. What's a remake? Not that.
Is there a remake? What is a remake, really? That's the question. All right. So my number 2 is, of course, Blumhouse's second entry in the list, because of course it is. Woman in the Yard. I'm going to start off this by doing what I start off my review with. Just as when Blumhouse may have had something, they just had to Blumhouse it because, of course, Blumhouse gonna Blumhouse. Unfortunately, this movie has a lot of the typical ingredients of a very typical shitty Blumhouse film, which is it's not scary, it's trying to be a shitty drama. There's jump scares galore, annoying characters, and honestly, a lot of the pacing is just it's a slog. But sadly, I like the way they interpreted depression here. I thought they did it very well. I mean, as much as I'll explain why it's my number 2, but the way they it kind of showcase it in this film with the main character, her husband died and she's probably feeling all this guilt after what happened. I think they did it very well because when you're depressed, you don't have a whole lot of energy. You're just not yourself, and I think they did it very well. Unfortunately, what makes this my number 2 is the ending. Oh God, they butchered the ending because once again, Blumhouse gonna Blumhouse. The problem is, I think the problem is they were trying to be very not cutesy, but they were trying to be almost ambiguous with it, where they were trying to do the did she or didn't she with that little thing at the end where it was inverted, because there was this whole thing where if stuff was inverted, then they weren't in the real world. It's a dream world, and I thought that was that was dumb. I thought it was very lazy. And to everybody who maybe took that as an interpretation, if she did it, I don't blame you. because trust me, if you look at it at face value, yeah, it doesn't look good. Do I think that was maybe the intention? No, I don't think so. Maybe it was left ambiguous on purpose, but it was just kind of dumb. And this was just, again, another typical dumb Blumhouse decision because, once again, Blumhouse gonna Blumhouse. So, sadly, if this movie was more clever, or, if Blumhouse wasn't behind this, or whoever made this movie wasn't behind this, this may have worked better. But it's not. It's just another very, very bad Blumhouse movie. Now, does that mean it's as mean-spirited as Beau is Afraid? No. Because at least the ending made this unintentionally fucked up. Beau is Afraid was fucked up from beginning to end, and it was all intentional because that motherfucker, I really wish I had more to say. I really did with this. It's not a movie that made me like mad. It's a movie that's just like, it's Blumhouse, and it has a lot of the typical Blumhouse stuff. So it just had a really bad ending. It doesn't work. So there it is. That's my number 2.
So my number 2, I mean, this is already talked about a couple of times, but I still want to talk about it because I think out of all the bad stuff that I've consumed in 2025, I think this might be the only one where it's so bad, but I could not stop laughing every minute of this movie. And this movie is War of the Worlds. I don't think I genuinely don't understand why, because this was filmed during 2020. And you can tell this was filmed during 2020. I don't know why Amazon out of nowhere just decides, you know what? Let's release this movie and see what let's release this movie. Yeah, we worked on it, we spent money. Let's see what this movie is gonna how well this movie is gonna do. I don't know if whoever behind Amazon Prime lost a bet or something, or they just decided to do this as a practical joke, but this movie is so bad. It's so bad. Ice Cube, I know people criticize Ice Cube as an actor and that he pretty much just plays himself in every movie, and I have seen Ice Cube do a pretty good job acting, and he has some really good movies. But dude, this movie, his Ice Cube isms are up to 11. I don't know what. There are so many scenes, and what makes it worse is that he's acting in one place. He's sitting in a chair, pretending to look at things. You can at least do better than this. Dude. But and the fact that to call this movie War of the Worlds is an insult because to the book, and an insult to the movie that we had before. I mean, I know the Tom Cruise movie isn't the greatest adaptation of War of the Worlds, but at least it tried to do something with it. With this, it's it's so to basically give a background to the story. Ice Cube basically works for the government, and he's like a grade A hacker. And he's monitoring his daughter who's pregnant with Devin Bostic's child. Oh yeah, Roderick's in this movie, and he I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cannot complete that sentence without laughing. But the book describes, aliens come from, I don't know, and they're destroying the earth, and basically it's up to Ice Cube to save the world with Amazon. Which, by the way, this movie was basically a commercial was an ad for Amazon products. Hey, homeless man, let me pay you $500 in Amazon gift cards for you to help us. Hey, Amazon workers, let's use your Amazon drone to fly the drone into the alien spaceship. So you can this is such an Amazon this couldn't be more of an Amazon commercial than the last time we've seen a movie that was so coated in commercialized stuff for a product, it was Space Jam: A New Legacy with LeBron James and HBO Max, because that movie was basically a commercial for Warner Brothers and HBO Max. Oh hey, look at that! It's the Matrix. Oh hey, look at that! It's Lord of the Rings. Oh hey, look at that! It's Harry Potter. Oh hey, look at that! It's it. Like, dude. And the acting is so bad. Like, the acting is so bad. Like, the infamous scene where he finds out his son is the hacker that's like been messing with it. I wish we had the clip, because like it speaks for itself, but it's so bad. The memes that have come from this movie is genuinely hilarious. Like, when I saw the meme of Ice Cube with that hood, like, you know, that Photoshop picture of Ice Cube's face with the hood, like I don't know if like, I'm doing the best job of describing it. I thought that was a meme. I didn't know that was actually a clip from the movie. I'm like, dude, how, like, this movie is terrible, but you know what? I had the best time watching that movie because it was so bad that it was so funny because it was that bad. And it's not even a movie that made me even angry. I was just like, dude, how bad can this movie even get? And it got worse. It got worse. The plot is so predictable. The acting is so bad. And Ice Cube is just sleepwalking his way through this film to where I'm just like, why was this movie made in the first place? That's it. That's pretty much it. Like, it's honestly kind of fun. I mean, I'm glad that I'm saying all of this with a smile on my face, because once I get to number one, I'm not even going to be smiling. I'm going to be like enraged, because it's like, oh God.
Now, before you guys continue, I also loved how in that movie, Ice Cube has to be daily reminded to be a good dad. Like, I just thought that was really I just think that's
God.
really funny.
It's like, I didn't even mention about the fact that they reused shots of like Ice Cube's like fate, like reactions to things like multiple times. Like, they reused they reused certain scenes.
They reused it to the point where there was a scene where he ripped his glasses off and threw them, and then he was back, and they used a reaction shot with his glasses on. So good.
Yeah.
Absolute cinema.
Pete.
Get drunk,
like
get
I
high,
said,
go watch it.
like
It's
I
so
said,
fun.
let's we'll bring back a bad movie roast at some point for that.
Always remember, War of the Worlds 2025 is what cinema was based on.
Okay. Well, and don't worry, Jay, like, when we all get to our number one, I think all of us are going to be like fuming angry, so we might as well enjoy the hilarious laughs while we can. All right, anyway, Mark.
Okay. Yeah, my number two is Friendship. And dear God, I wanted to break up with every single friend I have because of this fucking movie. God damn it. Oh, this movie actually pissed me off. This was damn near to my number one. But this movie reminded me of, I hated this movie so much, it reminded me of the only movie I ever have actually wanted to walk out of in theaters. Damn near made me walk out. I wish I had. The movie I hate the most in the world, Cable Guy. I hated
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey for a long time after that. I was a big Jim Carrey fan before then. I loved him in The Mask and Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura.
Don't forget he got his start in Living Color as well.
I know that. Yeah, I mean, I remember him in Living Color, of course. But I mean, I loved him in Living Color. I watched him in Living Color when he was out. But I mean, but shit. But yeah, I mean, I loved him before that. I was a big fan. But I mean, shit. This was just, but Cable Guy was just awful to me. That made me hate him for a long time. It wasn't fun. It just reminded me so much of that. It wasn't funny. Tim Robinson looked like he was trying to give and like a really bad impression of that. You know, he was going for that same kind of vibe, the creepy friend, you know, who goes too far and everything is like obsession, you know, I guess the whole thing. So it was really more about obsession than friendship. I mean, I get why they wanted to use a creepy music because it was supposed to be creepy, but it was just fucking annoying because this guy is like an asshole. It's like, it was not funny to me, not at all. It was just annoying, and I don't know. So I mean, I really hated this piece of shit, and it really actually pissed me off watching it. I was happy when it was over. So yeah, that's my number 2. And dear God, I hope I never have to even. I refuse to watch The Chair Company because of this. That is the new best show. Best show I'm not watching, and I am going to.
By the way, By the way, Mark, when you said like after this, when you were going to want to break up with every friend you have, did that include us?
I mean, it's a joke.
I know. I
mean, it's a joke. Don't extend the joke too far.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I mean, Christ. Yeah, but I mean, oh, jeez.
But yeah, I really don't blame you. So, but anyway, let me get to Zach's number 2, and then we'll get to movie and cartoon fans number 2. I keep forgetting. I need to be better at keeping track on my. Okay. So for Zach, for Mr. Gaxiology, his number 2 is Smurfs. My runner-up for worst of the year is Smurfs. Aside from the Lost Village film from 2017, I haven't liked a single Smurfs thing ever, and this might be worst offender. Aside from looking visuals pleasing, none of the performances were committed and were just stint casting, and the entire plot was entire result of the oversaturated multiverse concept, and it may not be the worst I've seen all year, but pacing wise, it was definitely the most painful I sat through. I never liked Smurfs as a kid, and I never gave a shit about seeing anything Smurfs related, so I never watched it.
I heard it was really bad.
Yeah, like I said, I never gave a shit about the Smurfs, even as a kid.
I neither. Plus, I refuse to watch anything with James Corden in it because fuck him.
Okay. And speaking of us, and speaking of which, moving cartoon fans, his number 2 is also the Smurfs. As someone who grew up with this childhood IP, this movie was a huge middle finger to Pio's legacy and reinforces the negative stigma of this franchise that's gone since 2011. So. Yeah, there you go, Austin.
Man, that would have made that movie a 20 out of 10.
I showed that before because I wanted to see Austin's reaction.
Dude, that movie would have been legendary awesome if the final boss made a cameo appearance in War of the Worlds 2025 with Ice Cube.
Final boss would have saved War of the Worlds.
Yes. He would have tried to take Devin Bosnick. He would have taken Devin Bosnick's soul, probably.
All right. So now that we got that out of the way,
he would have made Ice Cube turn heel for no reason and then beat the shit out of him.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anyway, so this is the part of the stream where we pretty much give our dishonorable mentions, but it seems like only 3 people have 5 dishonorable mentions. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get those dishonorable mentions out of the way, and then when we talk about our number 1, we'll just I'll put everybody else backstage so that the only person on the screen is the person talking. So let me go. Before I do that, sorry, I just saw some other comments in there. Dumb smoker. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so let me get to my dishonorable mentions out of the way, and I'm just going to make quick mentions of them real quick. I'm not going to go into detail about them. So damn it. Let me put this down. There we go. Boom. Okay. So for my dishonorable mentions, my 5 are as follows: Captain America, Brave New World, Happy Gilmore 2, Wolfman, Fear Street Prom Queen, and I had Friendship on there too. I was like, what the hell happened to the other one? Oh yeah, but don't worry, Austin Raw. or Austin, Mark, Friendship came very close to being in the top 10. So, but yeah, fuck that movie. Anyway, Devin.
Yes, I have dishonorable mentions as well, and those are Captain America: Brave New World, Flight Risk, Opus, Jurassic World Rebirth, and sorry, Chris Stuckman, I'm not going to be nice. Shelby Oaks. Those are mine.
All right. Mark.
Oh, mine. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting the dishonorable mentions out of the way since.
Yeah, I know. My dishonorable mentions in no particular order: The Materialist, Echo Valley, Wolfman, Elio, and Flight Risk. Echo Valley, I gotta say, not a good year for Sydney Sweeney. You know, I mean, Jesus. I mean,
I've never even heard of Echo Valley. I'm not
Me
gonna
neither.
lie.
Be glad it was boring. So, I mean,
Okie dokie.
yeah.
Okay, so and now we have movie and cartoon fans dishonorable mentions, and he has. Wait, did I pull it up? Oh no! Oh, there it is. Okay. Fountain of Youth, Sneaks, Trust, Flight Risk, Alarum, I guess. Happy Gilmore 2, King of Kings, and Hot Milk. What the fuck is Hot Milk?
Hot milk.
What?
Milk,
some of these I've never even heard of.
I've heard of Sneaks. Sneaks look terrible.
Zach, you could have gave me your dishonorable mentions. I'm not reading your dishonorable mentions because it's far too late at this point. You should have given it to me yesterday. So
You should have, Zach. Test.
King of Kings,
yeah.
you mean Triple H? No, he should have been on the worst of list. Sorry.
okay, but anyway, yeah, Zach, you just sent me your dishonorable mentions, but I'm not reading them because you should have given it to me when you were giving me your list. And I even told you, do you have dishonorable mentions? You said no, so that's on you, buddy. Sorry. All right. Anyway, well, guys, it's time. It's time to talk about the worst film that we have seen in 2025. Are you boys ready? Let's get started. So, for my number one, this is a movie that I'm probably the only one that was actually able to see this movie.
Rob. I think gotta put everybody backstage.
What? Oh shit! Oh, damn it! Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Boom. Yeah, thank you for reminding me because I forgot about that. Boom. Okay, here we go. My bad. Thank you for reminding me, Devin. Anyway, so my number one is a movie that I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here that saw this movie. This is a movie that offended me so much. As someone who has knowledge about the topic that this movie tries to present and pretty much is more aware of it than a lot of other people think. My number one is The Unbreakable Boy. Fuck this movie. I've mentioned before that I'm on the spectrum myself. And you know what? I've worked with people who are on the spectrum. You know, I used to work at a group home that was with autistic people. What this movie does, it pretty much, on top of it just being a bad movie in general, you know, I'll just go ahead and get the other shit out of the way first, and then pretty much, and then I'll get to later on why this movie offended me so much and why it's my number one. First of all, the characters are either annoying or just complete dicks. This goes to more on what I was saying about like a lot of characters from these bad movies I've seen in 2025 that are complete assholes. Same goes for the parents of this movie. They are, especially Zachary Levi. He is an absolute fuckwad. Honestly, I wanted to punch him so much. I wanted to strangle him. I really, because this is a guy, and this is a guy who is an unlikable asshat. This is a guy who pretty much gets drunk at a New Year's Eve party, and then drives his 2 autistic children home. Yeah, drinking and driving. Great message. Not only that, the acting was awful, even from Zachary Levi. It was all terrible. And I hated how there was so much focus on Zachary Levi's alcoholism. This should have been called The Alcoholic Asshole, because that's pretty much what this was. It was more focused. It was focused less on the kid who is autistic, and it focuses way too much on this. And there's a scene where pretty much the kid has like some kind of mental breakdown, but that's only because the parents had fucked up his medication, and it treats it like you have to sympathize with the parents' mistake. Oh no. Oh, even though they're the ones that fucked him in the first place. It treats that scene like you have to sympathize with the parents' fuck up, and treat the kid's mental breakdown like he's the problem. That's what it's treating it. And the worst part about it, the editing was atrocious. Like I said, the acting was awful. But I think the worst thing about this movie is just its cardinal sin about how it's saying that aside from that one single breakdown that probably lasts like 5 minutes, by the way, so they don't have a lot of focus onto that scene that I talked about earlier, this kid is the most happy-go-lucky motherfucker on the planet. This is a kid that pretty much will tell you that if you're autistic, you are the most happy-go-lucky motherfucker on the planet. It's kind of like how The Fanatic was. It was just like how The Fanatic was, where it tells you that autistic people are stupid. They're not. They are fucking not. They're not happy. They're not happy all the time. They have struggles too. Everyone there's always going to be some kind of struggles with them. And it really pisses me off at it. And by the way, to anyone who has seen the trailer and pretty much hated the kid's voice or outed how he was talking, get ready to hear him talk all the time, and get ready for him to narrate all the time. Doesn't that sound like fun? That's honestly why this movie pisses me off. I'm sure that if I've seen Woman in the Yard, it probably would have made my top 2, but honestly, I haven't seen it. I was never impressed by the trailer, and after hearing about it from some of these guys, I refuse to. But this is one that just pissed me off to no end, because I hated how its portrayal to autism, it was just so offensive. It was offensive to someone who was autistic or who is autistic, and someone who actually has worked in that field, who's had years of experience working with people with autism before. If Ezra and Temple Grandin have taught me anything, is that there are movies out there that exist that treat people with autism with pure respect. They don't talk down to them. They don't say that they're idiots. They don't say that they have one emotion. They pretty much explain about their struggles and how they're able to come through with them. Those are much better movies than whatever you'll get in this garbage. Fuck The Unbreakable Boy. Let's never speak of it again. And fuck the director for taking a dump on autism. That's it.
Next. Bitch, I'm next. Get the fuck out of here. I'm second. Fuck off. Okay. Here we go. So now we get to my number 1, and that is of course, has been mentioned, and the only truly awful movie I've seen all year, and that is Death of a Unicorn. Oh, to be the unicorn that dies, because I would have been dead than seeing this pile of shit. So, here we are. I will say, unfortunate, but I am vindicated after watching this pile of shit because I thought it sucked from the beginning. I saw the trailer, I'm like, so is this how so is this like the MCU trying to make a horror movie? Because this is like the vibe I got of like the MCU trying to make a horror movie. Like bad quips, terrible comedy, trying to do the thing but failing miserably, comes off as generic, haphazard editing, fucking terrible characters, and just all the things that like are hallmarks of that. And yeah, definitely got that vibe. The one holdout though that I had for this fucking steaming pile was the fact that the score was going to be by John Carpenter. I'm like, all right, well, the movie could be shit, but at least we're going to have a maestro at work. But turns out the director is so brain dead fucking stupid and so inept that he's like, oh, I have this steaming pile of shit, and the only thing that could save it is the music from one of the greatest directors who's ever lived. No, let's just get rid of his score and replace it with some fucking Tangerine Dream from Timu sounding motherfucker, because that makes sense. So yeah, this was a gigantic steaming pile. All the characters were assholes. Even the characters that were not supposed to be assholes were assholes. Like Paul Rudd, again, Paul Rudd, another man that needs a fucking better goddamn agent, because fuck me, man, you're clearly not doing it. And gee, the fucking Anaconda, this, and apparently Friendship are just woof. Goddamn. But here we are. But everyone was an obnoxious pile of shit. Jenna Ortega felt like she downed a bottle of Xanax before every goddamn take of this fucking movie, because I don't think I have seen an actor this bored in a movie since Matthew McConaughey in The Dark Tower, and that was pretty fucking bad. That was pretty bad. Jenna Ortega, she was like, I'll grab that paycheck, thank you very much, and peace out. Because that's the vibe I got from this thing. And then you had Richard E. Grant, Tia Leone, Will Poulter, a bunch of supporting casts I don't remember, and they are all obnoxious buffoons, which I get. They're trying to be like, oh, look, hey, rich people are assholes. Look how fucking over-the-top stupid they are. But it doesn't come off as clever, biting satire. It comes off as bad writing and ineptitude on the director and writer's part. The only person I think that actually gave a gradual of a singular fuck is probably Anthony Carrigan, because like he was the only guy, like he was one of the servants or whatever, and he was like had like 3 lines that actually made me laugh. So like I'll give it that. Like he tried. He tried with the shit hand he was given. So, you know, filled to the brim with awful cliches, like, you know, the one-dimensional bully, we're about to die and I'm sorry, which excuses the amount of trauma I've given you throughout this entire fucking movie, when it's like, Paul Rudd, fucking kick rocks, you fucking loser. You're a shitty father, and you frankly deserve to die at the end of this fucking movie, but they had to have the whole, you know, resurrect the main character at the end of the movie, again, adding to the Marvel comparison. And then, you know, it's horribly paced. It never feels like it ever gets going until like the 3rd act. So but I think this thing was like less than 2 hours, yet it feels like 3, like that classic thing. And the kills were terrible. It feels like it was filmed for PG-13, yet it was rated R, kind of like Hell of a Summer, although I haven't seen that movie. I'm just going off of what others have said with that one. But the kills were just fucking terrible. Like, I either couldn't see anything or they, panned away, which is like, I don't need to have like all the kills shown to me. I mean, look at, Halloween, one of the greatest horror movies ever made, and that didn't have a lot of over the top gory kills. But the thing is, that had, again, John Carpenter at the helm, who actually fucking knows what he's doing, unlike this twat. So, they actually made that work while they couldn't make it. I don't know what they were trying. I don't know if they were trying to like initially film it for PG-13, and then they got the R rating at the last second. They're like, okay, we'll throw in some gore in there and a little bit here, a little bit there, and throw in some more F-bombs to like make it warranted, I guess. And then it just like Will Poulter was so bad in this fucking movie, like Jesus fucking Christ. But he was so bad. But the music was also terrible, as I mentioned, because again, replacing John Carpenter's score, which he did admit he is actually going to release online, and it just kind of adds to the whole shittiness of this movie, where I bet that score is actually really fucking good with, instead of whoever the fuck they got with this shit fest. All of it was laughably bad. Like, the CGI was bad. Like, you can see that the guns had CGI muzzle flashes. Like, that's bad. The short film that I edited in college had a better looking muzzle flash than this fucking movie did. Holy fuck. The themes are fucking terrible. Like, I think they're trying to do like oh, hey, did you know that like the initial fairy tale was evil and they didn't, and it got sanitized over the course of time? And I think that was like it's like, who fucking doesn't know that? Like, that everybody who's gone through an anti-Disney phase when they were like 13 and emo and goth and being like, the fucking society, bro. Everybody knows that. Like, I like, again, there's no clever satire here to make that like idea work. It's just like presented, and it's just like, yep, we're gonna do nothing with that. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. And then the fucking God, the jump scares were also so fucking, it's just like, I thought we were past this, like with the fucking like Paranormal Activity-ism of fucking Hollywood, where it's like, oh, we have to be inundated with fucking jump scares. And it's just like, I thought we were like the fake boo scares and like all that. It's just like, I thought we were all fucking past this fucking shit. I thought we were all past this, but no, I guess not. It's God fucking damn it. Like, and that's like an ongoing theme. Like, oh, I thought we would have good video game adaptations. Nope. We thought we would have like, good movies showcasing how autism works. Nope, we can't have that. Oh, we finally have movies that show off male abuse properly. Nope, we don't have that either. It's like, once we think we get forward, we take step backs. Well, that's, harder hitting commentary and a lot more than just a shitty horror movie. It's still absolutely just God, not the worst movie I've seen ever. It does have like some like merit here and there, like maybe a kill, maybe a joke. Anthony Carrigan, as I mentioned, but this was easily the worst movie I've seen all year. Nothing could truly save this from being the shitstorm that it was. And say what you will about tons of movies that are maybe worse. I didn't see them, so I can't judge. But I can judge this, and I can say it fucking sucks. Don't watch it. And everybody in this movie involved needs better agents. Holy fuck. Paul Rudd, better agent. Jenna Ortega, better agent. Will Poulter, better agent. Everyone needs Richard E. Grant, Tia Leone, Anthony Carrigan, better agents. Well, some of them have had better movies this year. Like Will Poulter was in a better movie. Anthony Carrigan was in a better movie. So, it's just, God, guys. Anyway, this was kind of a bit of a filibuster. I didn't have anything written down. But, I think it's just ass. It's unicorn shit, and it's unicorn ass. And death of a unicorn, more like death of my brain cells, because this was shit. Anyway, that's my number one. Let's move on.
So for my other picks, I wrote notes down of what I wanted to say. But here I'm just gonna wing it. My worst movie of 2025 is The Woman in the Yard. Spooky Wookiee lady sitting in a chair. Well, I mean, Austin alluded to this earlier. I mean, at this point, it's not a cool kids worst of the year list without one or two Blumhouse movies. I mean, honestly, that's tradition at this point. But this movie, in my opinion, is the worst horror movie Blumhouse ever did. It's worse than Night Swim. It's worse than Imaginary. It's worse than A Frey-Eyed. It's worse than The Gallows. It's worse than Five Nights at Freddy's. Because it hits a lot of the hallmarks of the shitty PG-13 horror movies. It isn't scary. It relies on jump scares. The characters are all bland and unlikable. It's cliched. But in order to get into what really pissed me off about this movie and why I hate it so much, I need to get personal. And typically, I don't like to do that when we do our streams. But I feel with here, I think it's necessary. On January 23rd of 2025, I was start off as a normal morning. I woke up early. I was getting ready to leave for work. And then I just get a text from my aunt that says that she wants me to call her. Like, okay, I'll do that when I'm done my shower. So I shower, start up my car, and then I get a text from my brother that says the same thing. And I'm like confused, like, all right, what's going on? And what he said to me will haunt me for the rest of my life. January 23rd of 2025, my mom died. She was 51 due to health complications, due to her drinking and other stuff. I won't get into that, but there was a period of time where her and I weren't talking, and just hearing knowing that she's gone and I'll never get to see her again, greatly affected me for the rest of the year. I mean, there was great stuff that happened in 2025, absolutely, but the fact that just knowing that I'm gonna have to go the rest of my life without ever seeing my mom again, destroyed me. I had meltdowns at my job. I was in therapy for a little bit until it got expensive. But why am I talking about this? And when I'm supposed to be talking about Woman in the Yard. This movie features a trope I am starting to get sick of in horror movies. I talked about tropes I can't stand, whether it's the liar reveal, the sad montage, the bully. But there's a big one that pisses me off. I like to call it the grief monster, where the whole movie has to deal with someone overcoming trauma and guilt and grief, and it comes in the form of a fucking monster. And it's something that I've been seeing over and over and over again, and besides the Babadook, no one does anything clever or interesting with it. It's just such an overused fucking cliche, and it drives me fucking crazy. And this movie relies on that. And the grief monster here is a metaphor for suicide. Because the main woman loses her husband. And of course, she's got a lot of guilt, so we have the grief monster here. And the spooky Wookiee lady in a chair is a metaphor for suicide. And they have this ending where like it's heavily implied that she went through with it. And that ending, like, oh, is it ambiguous? Ugh. And that ending and that message pissed me off, disgusted me, and offended me more than any movie this year. The fact that this movie looks at the audience and says, if you're grieving the loss of someone, you should kill yourself. To the person, I'm not going to shit on the director here. He didn't write it. This person, this writer, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, what were you thinking when you wrote this shit? Like, how do you look at yourself in the mirror? Like, you say, I have this great idea for this horror movie. We're gonna push a message for suicide. Like, I'm a genius. And greedy ass, dumbass Jason Blum fucking took this script. He gave it money. And lo and behold, it's on the fucking screen. Like, how do you fucking sleep at night knowing you gave the pass to something like this? And earlier, some of us talked about a movie called, we've reviewed in 2023 called Beau is Afraid. You know, it was a movie we all unanimously hated. You know, and the big reason was for its awful, disgusting message, because that movie shat all over people who suffer from mental health issues. That movie said if you have mental health problems, you deserve to die. And then you have this movie that says if you're grieving the loss of someone, you should die. And that everyone would be better off without you. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You thought I was going to be a lot more angry here, but honestly, this movie ain't fucking worth it. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to get myself in a better place mentally because I'm trying to focus on the good parts of my life. And I know if my mom is watching me that she would appreciate that. You know, she'd want me to go on. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's my big middle finger to this fucking movie. We had a message for our Welcome to Derry review after the death of James Ransone. If you're struggling with these thoughts, it's not worth it. You're not alone. You're loved. You're wanted. You're valued. And if anybody says otherwise, or you have this fucking move that tells you otherwise, they can go to fucking hell. They can just go to fucking hell. And to answer this question, is Blumhouse going in the graveyard? And no, I'm not putting Blumhouse in the graveyard. And the reason I'm not is because they can occasionally make a good movie, and there was a Blumhouse movie that made it on my favorites of the year list, and we'll see what that is next time. But this sure shit is not one of them. Like I said about Oh Hi, this movie is disgusting. You know, it's disgusting. It's boring. It's mean-spirited. It isn't scary. It is an all-around waste of time. And that's all it is. And I know Mark said he has his own interpretation of the movie and he didn't get that message. Like I'm glad you got something out of it, man. I'm not gonna shame you. I'm not that kind of person. But no. The interpretation I got and other people got, fuck this. And I'm not asking for sympathy. Absolutely far from it. Far from it. I'm just getting out my aggression and like my feelings on this. You know, I intentionally chose to wing this. And besides, I don't feel like getting like super duper pissed off right now because I already did that with Oh Hi, and I also have a cold, so nah, not worth it. This movie ain't fucking worth it. I'm repeating myself now, but my worst movie of the year is spooky wookie lady sitting in a chair. This movie can go to hell and fucking die. Fuck you.
Okay, so I'm next. So yeah, my number one movie of the number one movie, worst movie of the year is The Woman in the Yard as well. Watching the trailer, I knew it was gonna be a pile of shit, but when it came to Peacock, I figured I'd give it a chance to see what this movie's about. Not only it has the ingredients of being a pile of shit movie from Bloomhouse, the fact that it promotes suicide and telling you it's okay to give up, when things are really tough and hard to get through. It's just a bad message because mental health and you know today's into the world today is just a struggle to get through just a day. So the fact that this movie is promoting suicide and telling you to give up, it's one of the worst movies of 2025. My worst movie of 2025. Pretty much, I feel the same way how Devin feels with when things about movies with suicide in it, and it's a big deal. According to statistics in 2025, every 43 seconds someone commits suicide. So it's a big, seeing a movie promoting that, it's encouraging that it's not something should be shown in theaters or TV or anything. So that's my worst movie of the year, The Woman in the Yard. Thank you.
Why, hello there, everybody. It is me. I'm not going to take too long because my fellow friend, the Geek Informant, has the same number one as I do. Because it's very ironic that A24 had my favorite movie of 2024 when we did this end of the year's list last year. But it's ironic that not only did A24 have my favorite movie of 2024, this A24 unfortunately has the distinction of having the worst film for me of 2025, and that was Death of a Unicorn. In whole honesty, look, my expectations for it was like, look, on paper, this sounds a little silly. It's a movie about a fucking unicorn. It's got Paul Rudd. It's got Jenna Ortega in it. How bad can it get? Well, I watched it roughly around the time when I was trying to catch up on my 2025 releases and trying to take a look at my what would you call it? Just taking a look at the releases and like the worst stuff and seeing that it was very divisive amongst us. I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance, see where it ends up. Unfortunately, this movie is not very good. In fact, it's a piece of shit. So you may be wondering, like, okay, is there anything to maybe like in this movie? Because, like you said, it's a movie about unicorns. Does this movie have anything redeeming qualities? Not really. I mean, I guess the acting's okay. Maybe there's a couple shots that look like that kind of looks okay, but the rest of it, no. This movie has that distinction of the characters act stupid because the story and the writing requires these characters to be stupid, and they're just flat out unlikable. Like Paul Rudd from the word go, he's not very likable. He's kind of an asshole. He's the stereotypical, like, oh, business first type of guy, and they do the, oh, the mom died, so now, like, he and Jenna Ortega don't really get along. And of course, this leads into just the plot moving along, then just goes on and on and on. And then, of course, you have the thing at the end where Paul Rudd has to go, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. But it doesn't feel earned because Jenna Ortega throughout the fucking movie's telling you, no, you're being a fucking idiot. So really, nothing is earned. And all the characters are like this. Like, even like the so-called antagonists of the family, like, they're just there and they're just as unlikable as Paul Rudd is. So again, not very likable. Jenna Ortega is just there. She's fine, but she's not interesting. And the plot just, it makes no sense. Like, it's trying to be so many different things. It's trying to be a comedy or like a horror movie. Then there's like a drug PSA in there because fuck it, why not? And this whole movie about like the unicorns and like how Jenna Ortega touches like the horn. It all just feels like shit's just happening for the sake of shit happening. There's a lot of those stereotypical cliches, like I talked about, where you have those like that. Oh, the daughter and the father, like they're not getting along, and then there's just people acting stupid. And what's worse, it's all at a snail's pace. By the time it reaches the third act, nothing feels earned because it just keeps going, going, and going. None like I'm not rooting for any of these characters. They're not interesting at all. There's nothing here to really dig your teeth into. And just overall, it's probably one of the worst constructed movies I've seen all year. I know people are going to say, oh, well, War of the Worlds is worse. And to an extent, you are right. I mean, when that entire movie is based on Microsoft Teams, yes, you're not wrong on that. But when we're talking about an actual movie, this is the worst constructed, worst paced, worst written films I've seen all year. Is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No. But as far as one of the worst A24 movies, it's up there for me. It's easily my worst of the year. And it just flat out just isn't, it just doesn't work. I'm sorry to anybody who liked Death of a Unicorn, but for me, this was so bad that it's not even War of the Worlds where it's like it's so bad it's good. It's so bad it's bad. And with that, that's my number one.
It's been a while since I've had the floor as far as solo. Yeah. Unfortunately, I differ with everybody else because my my worst of 2025 isn't even a movie, it's a TV show. Rather, it's actually a season of a TV show, and it's funny enough, it was the final season of a TV show. And I need to give like backstory to this because like Devin said, when it comes to like cliches, this is one of the worst cliches that I hate the most about not even just TV, just like any like form of like media. I hate this cliche so much. And the cliche that I hate is love triangles. So back in 2022, when I started my first year of college, my best friend who I'm still best friends with to this day, she recommended that I watch this TV show from Amazon Prime called The Summer That I Turned Pretty. And it's actually based off of a book series. And it's a trilogy of books, like, following a character, basically, yeah. I watched the first season, and I was honestly, I was pretty hooked. I won't lie. I thought it was mindless entertainment. I thought it was entertaining, just any other. And the show pretty much centers around a character named Isabella Conklin, but her nickname is Belly, and she is torn between two brothers in a love triangle, basically. So basically, the entire season one, she's teetering on the line of, oh, which brother do I want to be with, yada, yada, yada. And she ends up with the older brother, Conrad, and the younger brother, Jeremiah, ends up being, done dirty. And throughout the entire series, basically this series has revolved around this pointless love triangle. And basically we follow the main character, Belly, who basically is just nothing but who basically is nothing but a terrible character who not only ruins an entire family, ruins the dynamic between two brothers, but also is just a selfish and narcissistic asshole. I don't think and the reason why I hate love triangles so much is because they never, ever, ever make it fair. They never make it fair. It's always one-sided, and that is something that I've never understood why people can't see that. And we've had love triangles in movies before. We had it in the Hunger Games. We had it in the Twilight movies. We've had it in Divergent even. I don't even know. But the point is, it's been a thing. And I'm thinking, and obviously I rooted for the younger brother of the two because I thought that he was the better option. And I think that just because Conrad is a terrible, terrible character, I don't know why people love him so much, but because he does the bare minimum, even then, the bare minimum is literally nothing. And in season 3, at the end of season 2, Belly and Jeremiah end up, getting into a relationship. And obviously, everybody was like, wondering what the final season was going to be. So in the final season, right, everything is all sunshine and rainbows for Belly and Jeremiah. Everything is great. Everything is fantastic. Jeremiah and Belly are happy. And then, because of course, the author of the books, who also created this series and is the showrunner, she is very biased towards Conrad. So she basically plans this entire season to not only ruin Jeremiah's character, to not only make Belly even worse as a character, but to basically justify Conrad and Belly getting back together after we saw and we're proven that they do not work as a couple. And Belly even said that she's done with Conrad and she no longer has feelings for him. But of course, she did not, like, of course, because of love triangles and the one-sided love triangle plots, they decide to basically do the entire plot all over again. And this time, it's even worse because Jeremiah, they ruin his character. They add a pointless cheating subplot that makes no sense, and it's stupid because it wasn't even, it's basically they pull a Ross and Rachel, and it's up for the fan base to determine whether or not he was in the wrong or not. And then Jeremiah and Belly are getting married this season. They're deciding to get married, and Conrad is basically torn up about it, even though he has not even kept in contact with any of these characters over the last 3 years within that timeline. And to make it even worse, it's like he is just like, Conrad as a character is such a whiny, unlikable son of a bitch. And it gets on my nerves because I don't understand why the fan base loves this character so much. And what makes it worse is that he knows that his brother is getting married, and he decides to be a terrible brother and swoop in anyway. Because there is a scene in like later on in the season where he decides to pull this stunt on the day before his brother's wedding to tell his ex-girlfriend how he feels, and basically it basically just causes a whole ripple effect to where everything gets messed up, all the characters are messed up, and it's just like unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And to make it even worse, and it's just like I can't understand why I had to endure like 9 episodes of this season. It's really annoying because I could have done so much, like something better with my time, but because as someone who likes to watch things and likes to finish them as they go, I decided to finish this season because, hey, I have already made it this far. But to then endure the terrible writing, to endure the terrible character arcs, to endure just the fact that it basically doesn't matter if in the message that it tells, it basically is telling you, hey, go, even though you were with someone who didn't treat you great, who wasn't there for you, who basically did nothing but the bare minimum and basically broke your heart. Yeah, it's okay because you can take him back, even though it's been proven that you guys that they don't work as a couple, and it just takes away the agency and the fact that she just allows herself to get sucked back into this emotional, dysfunctional, toxic roller coaster. And I don't understand how people can eat this up. This show is displaying a bad message that basically it says, hey, take back the person who treated you like garbage. Because, hey, that was your first love since you were a kid, and that means everything, even though that shouldn't mean jack. Just because you've known someone for basically your whole life doesn't mean that's the best option. And I don't understand what's wrong with Hollywood today and thinking that like the first love is everything. It's ridiculous. And like, unfortunately, and I feel bad for even having this at my number 1 because this isn't even like comparable to Woman in the Yard or Death of a Unicorn, any movie that is any person who's after me that has something at their number 1 list. But it's like, this is just genuinely one of the worst things I've consumed. No, sorry, not one of. This is the worst thing that I've consumed all year. And I'm so done with I'm actually so done with the way that Hollywood has just made these TV shows and movies. I'm done with this stupid love triangle cliche. I'm done with all of it, and I'm done watching unlikable characters get rewarded for things that they shouldn't be getting rewarded for because they're terrible people. And I'm tired of people getting easily emotionally manipulated by the message of something when that shouldn't be the case. Do not listen to what this show is trying to tell you. And the fact that we're getting a movie after, and the fact that the show isn't even over, and they're making a movie to wrap everything up, because of course they are, because they want to milk this till the cow is dry. It's ridiculous to me. The Summer I Turned Pretty season 3 is one of the worst TV shows I've ever seen in my life. It is the worst thing that I've ever seen in 2025, and I'm so glad that it's over because I'm so sick and tired of hearing, and I'm so done watching this show. I'm done. I'm done. You guys can, whoever's after me can go. I'm done because before I actually like lose my mind.
Okay, so this would be the part where Mark would go first, but since he always loves going last, he wants me to go ahead and read off Zach's number one. So let me go ahead and pull up Zach's. I have to keep skipping around these folders. So, all right. So Zach's number one is Woman in the Yard. Easily my worst of the entire year was Woman in the Yard, or as I like to call it, Suicide in the Yard. To its credit, it could have been a decent exploration of grief and overcoming suicidal thoughts if actually overcoming them was the message. But in execution, what kills the entire thing is that at the Woman in the Yard is the supernatural manifestation of the main chick's suicidal thoughts, and she actually gives in by the end because, her kids would be better off without her. Their kids would be better. As someone who has had suicidal thoughts, that made my blood boil more than any other utter dog shit I had to sit through. An utter disgusting film that has no worth. And also, before we get to Mark, I also want to state this right now that if you're one that's depressed, that's going through all of these bad thoughts, then I would encourage you to get help. There's actually a hotline, the Suicide Crisis Hotline, the 988 number. Please call them. It's 100% confidentiality. It's 100% free. I've called them multiple times. They've helped me out in so cases, so I know they could be able to help you out. I'm sorry. I just had to say something pretty much after all of us pretty much talking about how fucked up the Woman in the Yard is. I'm sorry. I had to be able to say something about that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on to Mark. Let me go ahead and remove this, and then I'll go ahead and we'll get to Mark's.
The fat man always goes last. The old man always goes last. Privilege comes with age. So, my worst of the year was hands down The Surfer. And that really kind of hurts to say that because, I typically love Nicolas Cage because usually, even if it's a bad film, usually even if it's a bad film, at least you're getting Nicolas Cage. But in this, even Nicolas Cage was not entertaining. Not necessarily his fault, but it was just a horrible script. This film was an incel's dream. This film felt like it was written by Andrew Tate and directed by Jake Paul, right straight out of the fucking manosphere. I swear to God, this was like Jordan Peterson's wet dream. Jesus Christ. A bunch of overly tough macho guys, who believe they have to suffer and bully somebody just to the point of nothing, just to prove themselves and whatever. And it's a bunch of horse shit. And, so that whole kind of alpha male bullshit that has just seemed that too many people in our society, especially, let's just say too many men in our society become fucking obsessed with. And this was just absolute fucking trash from beginning to end. I really, really fucking hate it. I was disappointed in Nicolas Cage for even accepting this shit. I mean, but yeah, this was absolutely fucking horrible. Absolutely. I mean, the fact that it was worse than Friendship for me, and Friendship reminded me of my formerly worst movie of all time, or at least before, what used to be my worst movie of all time, Cable Guy. The movie I hated the most of all time. But I mean, the fact that this was worse than that, wow, that's pretty fucking bad. So yeah, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this ranting and raving about that. But I mean, at the end of the day, Jake Paul got his ass kicked in the ring. Andrew Tate got his ass kicked in the ring. So I had a pretty good fucking year. The world is healing. Goodbye. And Alabama just lost 38 to fucking 3. Ha! The SEC sucks now.
Damn.
The
Sorry,
world is.
I've got to. Let me go and just. There we go. Okay, perfect. That's how it is. All right. Anyway, so before we close out, let's go ahead and get to Movie and Cartoon Fans final number one, and his number one is Gabby's Dollhouse. This is everything wrong with kids' movie today, with awful humor, not existent story, and one of the most horrific messages about growing up with the worst redemption of a villain.
Why would you fucking sit and watch that, though?
Exactly.
Where's theatrical released? Worse than Shark Tale?
Yikes!
Damn.
Look, every time I saw that trailer.
By the way, I didn't bring. Hold on a minute. Let me. Do what?
Every time I saw the trailer for Gabby's Dollhouse play, I would always put in the group chat, "Help! I'm dying of cringe."
I know. I remember taking Kane to see Bad Guys 2 when they played the trailer for Gabby's Dollhouse. He was like, "Oh hell no!"
Wait,
by the way,
you actually watched that?
What?
No, not you. Right. I just mean like why?
Okay. But by the way, Devin, some of these guys pretty much have your sympathy. I wanted to wait. Yeah, I didn't want to put anything in I didn't want to put any comments in because I knew it was like a serious moment, and I didn't want to,
Yeah, I'm not asking for sympathy, guys, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But we did it.
But guess what?
Survived.
We survived. Let's see if we can find. Let's see if we can find. Oh, here it is. Does it work? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So, yep, we survived, guys. We did it. We got through the garbage. So, here, I'm just pulling up Joey's worst movie is Chicken Jockey.
So, how about the Jets?
Anyway,
I really don't know why like Chicken Jockey is so funny. Like it's the same equivalent
because it's brain rot. That's what it is. It's just Gen Z brain rot.
It's like equivalent to the 6'7" meme. Like I don't know why that's funny either.
You're not supposed to know. It's not for you. I mean, just like it's not for me either. Every generation has their own shit that they laugh at.
Besides, if you were to bitch about that generation, you might as well bitch about your own brain rot generation.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, you know what? Hey, fair enough. But yeah, I'm honestly glad I didn't watch Minecraft because I probably would have God would have gotten thrown out of the theater for disturbing the peace by how many times I would have been laughing out loud and clowning the movie.
People did get through.
I would say like
fucking next
worst of list. I would say there was actually good variety. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I know I'm late, but did anyone? I don't know what people think of Avatar
We're
3.
still
I still
going,
haven't
guys.
seen it yet, but does anyone
We're
have
longer than
Avatar?
that.
Okay.
What?
You what?
Did anyone have
Oh, we're
Avatar
still-
3 in their worst
No.
list?
No, we didn't
no.
have Avatar. Nobody
No.
hated it that much in
Yeah.
here. But
Avatar's a bad movie.
anyway,
All right.
what
All right.
next,
Anyway,
by the way, let's say what's next.
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and end it here before this stream becomes 6 hours long. So next week we are going to be rewarding ourselves and talking about our favorite films of the year.
Hooray!
No.
Finally, some good fucking food.
Yes, and I won't be mad this time.
All right, and that's
All
on,
right.
and that will be hosted by Mr. Gaxiola himself.
Mhm.
So, yep. So we are so looking forward to that. All right, and does anyone else have anything else to talk about before we go in?
Hopefully by next stream I won't have this stupid cold.
Fuck Tom King.
Yeah. All right.
I have something to say.
that blow.
And to anyone who's watching this, waste your if you want to waste your money on a good movie. Don't waste money on bad movies like we do, because technically speaking, it's our job to watch bad movies. You don't have to do the same thing. You guys can watch.
So you don't have to.
We suffer. Yeah, we suffer so you don't have to. We suffer so you don't have to.
Because we're the cool kids.
Yep. Exactly.
Yes.
So stay tuned next Saturday for where we do reward ourselves and talk about our favorite films of the year. Until then, catch you next time.
Later, everybody.
Peace out.
Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome.